Hello.
Hello.
Well, somebody done put you in a corner.
Yeah, baby's in the corner. Because my mom said, well, if you're doing a live, you're going to have to go in your room because we're playing cards.
Oh.
I'm 47 years old and got sent to my room.
Well, Dixie's a little bit older. I send her to her room every now and then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I don't see that happening too often.
Hi,
No.
Hi, Beth. Hi, Dixie.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm
How are
doing.
Yeah, she gets out of hand every now and then.
Yeah, I do too. Hi, everyone. Robert, Harvest, Lisa, Dana. Oh, can I tell Dana something?
Yeah.
I can't go out there because I'm stuck in my room because I'm grounded. But Dana B, I got the poop game.
Yeah.
I got the dinosaur pooping game. I haven't played it yet, but I got it.
Thank you, What Life, for a gift membership. Did it say who got it though? Oh, Harvested.
Harvest very much.
Okay. A
Sometimes
dinosaur.
it doesn't say.
Hi, Wildlife. Wildlife gifted one bushcraft.
Oh, again?
Yep.
Life Bobby got it this time. Thank you, What Life, for another gift membership. I appreciate it. Speak of the devil.
Hi, Watt.
Oh, me. Oh.
Not you. Are you stuck in your room too?
No, I've been sitting there for like 30 minutes, just like in a deep thought. And I was like, well, I think Bushcraft might be coming on. And looked at my phone, and yeah, I've been zoned out for like 30 minutes just thinking about nothing.
Oh, I like those moments. Just
yeah.
I just wish I could remember what I was thinking about.
That's awesome.
Welcome to old age, Watt.
Don't you put that on me, Bear Truth.
So, Bushcraft, we're live for the last time.
Hey, Vineyard Day.
This is my last Friday Night Live.
Not forever.
For 2023.
Well, I got some more bad news. For some of y'all, I might not see y'all again till next year.
Yeah, unfortunately, well, no, it's not true.
Some people.
Yeah, but I do have another live tomorrow though. But it won't be a Friday Night Live though.
Right. Be Saturday.
A guest appearance.
I saw that.
Last Saturday Night Live.
Man, the last Friday of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't think of a better place to be.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
There's probably a ton of channels going live at that time, though.
We need to go live on Sunday. You know what? Yeah. Sunday is a good day. Bear found that out too. Right, Jeff?
Might break the ice and go live Sunday.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, I think the content that me and you done that Sunday also helped it kind of climb the ladder also.
Maybe. Or people just really, really like you on a Sunday.
I think it was just y'all's charm, wit, and knowledge.
What do you think, Dixie?
If y'all could see the expression.
Don't get me mixed up in this, she says.
I need to try to get her up here live with me.
I don't either.
Dixie, you sound just like Bigfoot. You don't neither.
Oh,
the same
yeah,
thing.
man.
Same thing he
Oh.
tells me.
I'm still watching Lord and Morgan.
So, what is everybody's plans for the start of next year?
Like New Year's Eve?
No, I really don't count those days anymore. It's
Like
when I was young,
resolution?
it was like, woo, it's exciting, a new year, and it's like now it's like, hopefully it's not as bad as last year.
Sleeping.
I definitely plan on getting my health in order. I know a lot of people say that, but I'm dead set on focused on doing that.
Cool.
Well, that's
Mentally
the
and-
thing. I usually do lose all the weight that I gained on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Good luck.
Yeah, but the bad thing about it is that's as far as it goes. I need to go back about 3 or 4 Thanksgivings ago.
And like,
Well,
have
I
you
remember
noticed?
last year I lost about 40 pounds.
Yeah. Have you
I found
noticed though?
Yeah,
Besides your 40
I got it back
pounds,
again now.
have you guys noticed though? The older we get, the harder it is to take it off. Like it's
Exactly.
slower. It's slower taking it off.
That's
Yeah.
because we've gotten older. Our metabolism is
It's
not like
tougher.
Metabolism down.
it's not
Well,
like
the thing is, I could
Right.
take it off very easily, but
Yeah, I
I'm
was
not
gonna say,
allowed to.
except for Bushcraft, where he just, gets his girlish figure back really easy.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. I can take it off, but I'm not allowed to. It's lifting weights because I turn the fat into muscle, which is lighter than fat.
So it's your clothes fitting, not your weight on the scale.
So,
You
but
don't even
I
want to
can't.
know what I weigh.
They said no, you can't lift weights. No. And I keep asking. I said, can I lift weights now? I said my blood pressure's low. No.
Huh.
Like, why not? It's healthy, isn't it? Yeah, if you don't have a high blood pressure. I don't. You just said I lowered my blood pressure.
Well, what other activities that you could do for muscle building that does not require you lifting weights?
There isn't, because you have to gain muscle. You have to work the muscle, and I'm not supposed to work the muscle. I can do cardio. That doesn't do anything but burn very slowly the fat in your body. Cardio is fine as a warm up, but that's the problem is I can do cardio to warm up, but then I can't do anything else after that.
They don't want you building muscle,
No, they don't want me lifting
lifting.
because it'll bust blood vessels.
Mhm.
huh.
What about working your legs? Like, you ever get on all fours and put your leg up backwards and do these thingies?
Like yoga?
Yeah, that's
That
just
builds muscle.
cardio stuff. That's not building muscle.
So you can
It's-
do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that
So
doesn't
you
build.
can actually work your arms and you can do the Flappy Bird and stuff like that.
Yeah, that
Where you
that
put your
doesn't
arms
build.
behind.
That doesn't build muscle though. That
It does in a sense, a little bit. It tones. Okay, it tones. You're right.
kind of. It's again. It's the that's the cardio end of it. And that's what
I gotta
sucks.
I gotta be careful when I do the floppy bird. It's liable to come back and smack me. I can't live like I used to.
What sucks? I got hundreds of dollars of
Wait.
weights out in the garage, weight bench and everything, and just sitting there collecting dust.
You do
Same
a little
here.
bit, huh?
Dixon wants to know, can you do just a little bit at a time?
I could lift enough to where it's just like stretching on my arms, but again, that's cardio. It's not weight gain.
Well,
It's-
how about light weights? You know where you use
that's
the
cardio.
restraint?
That's just
You think
cardio.
this right here is cardio?
Yes. Cardio, all cardio is increasing the heart rate. And it does burn, but the only thing is it takes tons and tons and tons more cardio to lose weight than it would be to do 15 minutes of cardio and then lift weights for an hour.
Huh.
I would have to do cardio for like 3 hours.
Okay, so you can do push-ups, body weight
I
exercises.
can't do
like
push-ups.
squats, lunges.
No, not squats. Squats.
No
Yeah.
squats, no lunges.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well I've got planks.
Again, that's
Damn,
What
you
kind
like
of plank you
that
had for
put me
your
to
health?
sleep.
Planks will put you to
That
sleep.
just sitting there going.
And
you
can't
like I
do-
am, USOL.
I get before they put me on blood pressure meds, I would do 100 to 200 push-ups at a time,
Good God.
and that would barely get my heart rate going because I was used to doing it.
Well, what gets me is doctors down here, they want us to do stuff like that so we can lose the weight because we sit
Well, they
around.
want you to do cardio. They don't want you to lift because that's the number one bad thing to do when you have
Yeah.
high blood pressure, is because when you strain, it goes poof, and that's when people have strokes.
TH2 has got a solution.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's halfway there.
Yeah, that's already been done and over with.
Ooh, you can't lift weights, but can you tie them all together and pull them?
I was actually thinking of boxing again.
That's good. That'll keep you in shape.
Although last time I did boxing, which I was a kid, I got hit and I jumped up and kicked the guy in the head.
Ooh,
I'm not supposed to do that.
you were kickboxing.
No, I was regular boxing, but
Oh,
I got pissed off.
Now, he was doing kickboxing before kickboxing ever become a sport.
No, there was kickboxing.
was it Kickboxer? Who was that? Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Movie?
Yeah.
yeah,
That was what, 80s?
Mr. Stretchy. Yeah, I just seen a thing on the people on Bloodsport
Okay.
That was a good movie.
That was a
of,
great
of
movie.
what they look like now.
Oh,
Bad.
man.
And,
It was totally different.
yeah, the Revenge of the Nerd guy, the big guy that
Yeah.
had the
Moose.
bandana.
It was
Yeah.
Moose. That was his
Yeah.
name, Moose. Okay, I'm a Revenge of the Nerds fan. I
He
love-
looks totally different. And the big muscle guy,
Yeah.
the main bad guy, he's real skinny.
Yeah.
He's a little short, skinny Asian dude now. And I'm like, what happened to the rest of them?
Oh, goodness. Hi, Carson. Hi, Eric. You know,
Not saying
that Revenge of the Nerds.
Was that one guy? I can't even do it. His laugh when he starts snorting.
Horse Jack from Walkabout Tana.
No, this is a Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh,
I had to do it. That one.
Yeah.
It even made me red.
My son's two favorite movies was Police Academy and Porky's.
Oh, Lord.
They're both, and Octopussy was a good one too. All three of those are good. Police Academy is great.
It's like the
Yeah.
guy from
The
the actor,
first one.
I think his name is Ethan Suplee, the heavy set guy from the Butterfly Effect.
I know I've seen that movie, but I can't recall it.
I don't remember.
He's the I think his real name is Ethan Suplee, but you know, he was always a real big guy, and I know the last couple of years he's gotten into working out, and he's almost unrecognizable now. He's done trimmed down and got lean. I think he
Holy
lost.
crap.
I want to say he
Yeah,
lost almost
he
200
was,
pounds.
He was Remember the Titans.
Yep.
We were
Holy crap.
Bigfoot
That
and I.
dude is skinny.
Bigfoot
Yeah, he
and
lost the whole
I.
person.
We were just talking about that movie. Remember the Titans? We started watching.
That's
it.
not me, Bushcraft.
What's not you?
What's not?
Paper bag. This one is
You need a paper bag.
a candy.
Oh,
Circus peanuts. I love
Oh,
it.
that was my grandpa's favorite candy.
Mine too. He loved them things.
You know why?
No teeth and gum 'em.
Yep. He said that's the only damn candy I can eat is them damn peanuts.
Sometimes they get hard. They're brick.
Yeah, you can't beat them with a hammer. Those and those orange slices. I like them.
Those are good.
Yeah,
But they're covered in sugar though.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Not sugar, that's seasoning.
that's seasoning.
But talking about the Remember the Titans, have you noticed college now? Well, even NFL, when somebody gets a touchdown,
Yeah.
they're doing that. Remember the Titans all of a sudden. There's a lot of colleges doing the same thing.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, it was.
Hi, Master.
Even if you didn't like football, I think it was still a good movie.
Oh yeah, that's the good when a lot of times I don't want to. It's a sports movie or something. That's horrible. But the thing is, 90% of the time with those movies, they have a second theme to it that overshadows the sports altogether.
Yeah,
Like, it was bringing two different cultures together
Yeah.
to make one get big team and what they had to overcome and stuff.
Sunshine, sunshine.
Yeah.
Jason, January the 2nd. I just break out the trash bag and put it over the tree and turn it upside down. Mine's done.
We leave our lights up till the day after New Year's because it's New Year's, so we keep the lights on. Yeah, it's too early to take down the lights. And then up here, because there's no street lights, a lot of people keep their stuff decorated year round. But it's like white lights or blue lights. It's not like doesn't scream Christmas. You know what I mean?
Well, down
Yeah.
the road here, there's a house that has their Halloween decorations, and when Christmas comes along, they put Christmas hats on their skeletons and stuff, and then put a Christmas tree out there, and they're decorated.
No, I hadn't thought about that.
They just mix it both together, which it actually looks pretty good. I mean, they got lights out there, around, because they got this big skeleton out there like this, And
Yeah.
then when Christmas comes
Right.
along, they put a Santa
Hat.
hat on top of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that
Right.
next year, Dixie.
Well, it's kind of like, what's that movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas, with Jack Skeleton? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas, Halloween together,
I know, it's weird, right?
Thanksgiving.
It used to be. I wouldn't take mine down to about June and July.
Oh, goodness.
This is the first year I put a tree up in about 4 years, 5 years.
Really?
Yep.
Oh. That's
I got
weird.
got a
I
little
think I would, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think our tree this year is a little 2-foot tree.
2 feet.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point of breaking out an 8-foot tree when it's just you and the wife here? You know, there ain't nobody to look at it. And you can't plug it up because your power meter is doing flips outside.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, it's the same meaning as a 2-foot tree as it is a 7-foot tree. You know.
As long as you guys enjoy it, I say do whatever you enjoy. Whether somebody is around to see it or not, as long as it brings you guys joy, then do it, right?
Well, it does, but that light bill the following month, that's what killed the joy right there. And you bet your sweet bottom dollar, even though we didn't plug ours up, we still going to get an expensive light bill.
They keep
Well,
going up.
Yeah.
You can actually get the solar ones now. There, a lot of people that I've listened to and stuff that instead of getting, the ones that plug into the house,
Yeah.
and these are outside ones, which you could probably do the same thing for inside too, but they put all solar ones out there. So through the daytime, it charges it up, and at nighttime, it goes until they die down.
Well, see what I'm saying.
They don't have to have timers or anything. It just comes on when it gets dark time.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, even though you don't put up no Christmas decorations at all, your light bill's still going to go high as if you did put it up. And when you call up the power company, you know, they're going to tell you some lie to where you got to pay for it, and you cannot not pay it.
Our supply last month was more expensive than our usage for the supply.
Really?
Again, yes. So I'm going to have to call them and light into them again.
How is that possible?
It's happened at least 4 or 5 times this year already in 2023. We've had bills that were pushing $570 in a month.
A lot of times you have to tell them if you're going to go with another carrier.
Good luck. They've had a monopoly up here since before I was born.
There are some that you can, which it won't be cheaper, but they don't know that either. That you can. A lot of times they'll come by, and if you get the information from them and get the routing information from them, even though you don't use them,
right? All the supply,
you talk to your power company and tell them what's going on and why is this going up and this and that, and then you say, well, it looks like I'm going to have to go through this other company and say, I already have the routing numbers and everything. And you give them all that information and hold on, I'll get my supervisor.
Yeah.
And then it gets dropped like in half.
Our electric is odd. Like I said, there is no other company. The only thing you can do is go with another company through them you can have a different supplier, but you
Yeah.
still have, I'll just tell you guys, we have National Grid. You can go through like Agway or you can go through another place and they'll be your supplier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
If
that's
you're a
all it is.
kilowatt,
But they still want that money though.
they
And
do. And
once you threaten to go through a different supplier,
it
a
doesn't
lot of
work.
times they'll, because
Yeah,
I got mine cut down probably $140, $160
Well,
last
see,
time I did it.
it
down
doesn't
here
work.
where I'm at, you
So,
can't do that.
we can't either. It doesn't work with them.
You'd be surprised how much you can just
Oh,
by
no, trust me, you cannot, not here where I'm at.
So I'm trying to tell them too. We cannot here. We can't. Like they've had a monopoly. Literally, there's no other place to go. Even if you are going to go with someone else, National Grid is still the
Oh
people.
yeah, it's the same company that runs
Right.
all the electricity.
Right. But if you go with a different
there's 5 of them, but
supplier,
there are, and it's kind of silly. There are different companies
right.
in that supply basically the paperwork of it.
Yeah. So what
Yes.
National Grid told me is they're like, good luck with that. We'll see you back in a year or two when they raise your rates, which they do. So when you
Yeah.
go back, they raise your rates and then you're forced to go back with National Grid for the supplier and everything. I'm telling you, it is, I've been dealing with this for years. It frustrates me. The last time I called National Grid, I told them that I didn't want to pay for their electric car BS, and I told them
Right.
I told them a bunch of stuff I didn't agree with, their green energy, and I told them I refused to pay for it. So if you're charging us in this bill for that crap, sign me off. And for 3 months, our bill was $200 cheaper. So, like, what do I have to do? Keep pulling them back and telling them that? Like,
Yeah.
Well, see here, we've got something like about 5 different power companies, in one area, but they're not allowed to cross over into someone else's. Okay. And that's the stipulation they got here in North Carolina. I don't know how it is in other states, but let's say Progress Energy cannot cross over into another one and vice versa. So if you're living in one and you say you're going to go with somebody else, they're going to laugh at you and say, good luck with that one. We don't want in that area. So,
You know what's
That's
crazy
what
about my area? Here where I live in Augusta, Georgia. But here we have either Georgia Power or Jefferson Energy. Jefferson Energy is a co-op.
yeah,
Jefferson Energy gets their power from Georgia Power and the Southern Company, but
Yeah.
the rates with Jefferson are cheaper than they are with Georgia Power. But like
That's
you said, like
a bigger
Bear
one.
said, certain areas are only Jefferson Energy, certain areas are Georgia Power, and however they have those litigations and zones worked out, they won't allow you to cross over.
yeah.
right.
Now, before we moved here, we
Super-
lived maybe 10 miles up the road, and we was on a what you call power op, something like that. I would prefer to have them than I had anybody else, because when their power went down, they was on it.
Yeah.
It went up faster than the bigger companies did.
The same way here it is. I think it's more because they're more like community based, being a cooperative, and they're a little bit smaller, so their area of focus they can pinpoint it a little bit quicker. Because it's the
They
same way
can.
here.
But now we got a lot of we got a lot of chicken houses down here in this area. So when the power goes out, it's got to be back up and running with in no time.
If you have chickens in there.
Yeah, because they either going to freeze or they're going to suffocate. One of the two.
I was going to say the ammonia will kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, have some kind of air.
And Lord God help a city person that's never went past a chicken house in the summertime.
You need to be put clothespin on your nose.
Man, it'll take your breath away for sure.
Well,
Big time.
I've been in them like that. Oof.
Yeah, you got to work in them. That's how you make. That's how they make money. You got to go in. You got to work in it, regardless what it smells like.
That and those meat packing houses, those are some rough jobs.
Yeah, but I reckon it's like this. After you've been in it for a while, your system gets immune to it.
Yeah.
It don't even phase you no more.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
All those the lines for just for the chicken, because you have to do, and that's remove parts and cut them up.
Yeah,
you have to do so many in a certain amount of time. If you don't do that, then you're gone.
true.
And those things will be whipping down there, and if one gets past you, then whoops.
You got to meet a certain quota for the day.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they were trying to pass is to slow the lines down. So
You
I
can't do it.
think it was 6 every 15 minutes or something like that, which is not bad.
Well, now
But if
down
you're sitting
here,
there, standing there on a line 6 every 15 minutes may not sound that bad, but if you're doing that over and over again, it gets, yeah.
can we address something in chat that's happening that I want to it's like a
Go for
okay. First, Monty, hi. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. People need to be careful with turmeric. I cannot take turmeric, and I found that out the hard way because I was like, oh, it's grateful information. Let's just take it. No, people, it can cause a lot of harm for good. Okay, there's an iron thing that actually happens with it too, where it binds things and it makes it so you can't, what was it? Just please do your research on the turmeric. If taking any kind of herbs, it can also raise your heart rate. Like people with heart problems should not take turmeric. I'm not a doctor, but people are in chat.
It's a
please
natural blood thinner.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Okay, so I got tea. Okay, turmeric tea. And I'll tell you what, I had the most awful experience that night. And that's what it was.
Oh yeah, there's a thing to where you
that was horrific.
A teaspoon of turmeric, and a shot of lemon juice. You mix it up and drink it straight like that, and that was a big and that lemon juice and also olive oil was the other one, and people were thinking, oh, this is a cleanser. It'll help you out and everything like that.
Yeah. So it can mess with your, it can mess. Hi, Eric.
Well, hello, Miss.
It can mess with your intestines. It can enlarge them to a size. Yeah. The iron molecules. So it collects and it can actually enlarge them to a size where the intestinal tract cannot absorb them.
Also, if you have ulcers, and if they're not bleeding ulcers,
I have a bleeding ulcer.
They will be a bleeding ulcer.
And I have a bleeding ulcer. I was a hurt and sick unit with the turmeric. Yeah, because I didn't do my research. I just took it.
Well, normally you only put like a teaspoon in a big batch of stuff that you eat.
I had a cup of tea. That was
yeah,
it.
But that's more than a normal amount when you have it in a tea or something.
Oh yeah, that was really a bad experience.
Yeah.
I was hurting so bad. Hi, Suburban.
Well, see, y'all just said something on here I had no idea about.
Oh, see, her Suburban Hillbilly grew her own and made a tea with a panic attack because of the increased heart rate. That was another thing. My anxiety went through the roof that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your research and don't start off with what they tell you to do.
And if you have
these little gimmick things of saying you can get rid of your high blood pressure, all you do is take a teaspoon of this.
No, it's so bad for you.
Yeah.
They tried to get me and need a tablespoon of cinnamon.
Even the tea that I make for myself, I started off with very, very little of this, just a leaf, and chewed on it to see if I would have any effect on me or anything.
Right.
And I just didn't do it for the one time. So, I'm immune to it. I'm good. You do it for a week and see if there's a change.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that's the kind of tea I had. It has black pepper and stuff in it. It had all the things.
Cayenne pepper. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. And it was a spicy tea. But I'll tell you, that I haven't had a night like that in a long time. That was rough after that cup of tea.
Sniffer wants to know who is Holiday Troll.
That's Eric.
That'd be me.
Hello, Mike.
So how goes it down south?
Oh, got a little cold front coming through, but
everyone's having these cold fronts.
It's not going to be too bad.
Oh, it's going to be in the 70s. We got to get our coats out.
No, it's going to go down to high 40s, I think. But that's good. I like that weather.
We've
down here, it's supposed to be in the low to mid 30s at nighttime.
We've been roasting in the high 40s and 50s for weeks now, and we're out here thinking it's like springtime.
Yeah, but we'll get blasted in June, so you take the cold when you can.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was high 60s and rainy here on Christmas Day.
That's about the way it was here.
Hey, have you guys had any sun? We haven't seen sun in 2 weeks.
Well, there's sun.
We had a couple hours today.
I meant rays. Okay, well, you know how they have full sun, partly cloudy. It's been cloudy for 2 weeks.
I really don't pay attention to it.
You don't pay attention to the sun being out?
Well, it's there. If not, we'd be dead. We'd be frozen.
Today, I think, was the first day that I really paid attention. We had rays today, but it was either partly cloudy or partly sunny, however you want to put it.
Yeah, I'll put it this way. I notice when I have to put my sunglasses on.
Yes, that kind of sun. We haven't had sun where you need sunglasses.
Get my glasses out. And I'm real sensitive to
That's not
sunlight,
me.
so I have to have sunglasses on most of the time.
Right.
It said North Carolina, so it's somebody up there.
Jeff, where you calling, Eric?
I don't have his number, so no, it ain't me this time.
Oh.
I was just fixing to ask you, are you on your cell or are you on your laptop?
I'm on both.
No, I was talking to Lake.
Oh.
Now watch it. She just muted hers.
What?
I said you just muted yours to where we can't.
I'm not muted. Oh, you mean my phone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to mute mine because if I don't, it's bad.
See, it don't do me no good to call somebody. They already got theirs muted.
Yeah, I always have mine muted.
Yeah.
I better go ahead and mute mine.
Well, Here's the deal. I don't normally keep my phone on me. So I set my phone up to whoever's calling me. It shouts out their name instead of the ring. Sorry, I
That
tried to
was
mute
it.
you, but it came too quick.
Bless you.
You've got mail.
I ain't heard that in so hot picking long. It ain't funny.
Oh, I remember when AOL was
Yeah.
the thing.
I like
You've
Number
got
one
mail.
dollar.
You remember getting the CDs and then you
Free
you get a
internet
free
CDs.
month and then
Yeah.
cancel it and then throw it away and get another one.
Yeah. Man, those were the good days.
that
The
was a
dial-up
good
sucked.
But say they got used to it. Okay.
Yeah.
To begin with, you once you let it expire or didn't pay your bill, something like that, it was something like what, 3 months? You couldn't go back to them. That's all right. The other one would last 3 months. And, you just do it on down the line, start all over again.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Hey Robin. You guys remember that movie You've Got Mail? What was it? Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Think so. Yeah. You've got mail.
Yeah.
Well, now you remember that joke. The blonde kept checking her mailbox about every 30 minutes, and the neighbor asked why. And she said, "My computer keeps saying I got mail, so I'll come out here to check it."
Goodness.
And the sound of dial-up. If you've ever heard it, you can never forget it.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
The fun part is when you're in the middle of playing a game and then somebody goes to make a phone call and cut you off.
Oh man.
But you got to admit, during dial-up, AOL was the number one at that time.
No,
It was down here.
no. AOL put a limit on their bandwidth because they had so many customers.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get it past a certain threshold. I couldn't anyway because I lived out in the country, so
Yeah.
I was so far away from a junction. I was getting 14 kilobytes
We had
a second,
AOL.
which is where right now I'm up to 750 megabytes per second. Back then it was 14 kilobytes.
Insane.
We had AOL, and then it was like Roadrunner, and then Adelphia.
Adelphia, yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
That was good for a while.
And there was the free ones.
Oh yeah. Oh, and don't forget
that were horrible.
The free music. What was it? Napster. I used
Napster.
to use
Yeah.
Oh, Metallica got rid of that one.
Yeah. I hated it when I was downloading a song and somebody'd pick up the phone.
I remember getting a song. It was like 3 megabytes. It would take half the night.
Yep.
Almost got it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're using the internet. Sorry. No.
Now it's one tap away from an endless library of songs.
Yeah, Bobby, I remember LimeWire because I got that after the other one.
Yeah.
LimeWire, yeah.
LimeWire and FrostWire.
You remember loading a website and it would go in an image?
Yeah.
And then you would see the picture.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What was that? What was that one thing that web TV, where it hooked into your TV and it was the internet that you could use with your remote?
I don't remember that. No,
That was huge for about 6 months, and then everybody got tired of using a remote instead of a keyboard.
Yeah, Net Zero. Yeah, I never did that, and I guess I wasn't on there too much, like just to download some music and play some games. But I worked.
That's when I was I actually started making money because I could do websites, and at
Right.
that time nobody knew what a website was.
Yeah, that's like what
So-
my brother was doing.
Oh man, I wish I would have said, well, I'm going to invest all this money into something. Well, I did kind of. I paid off house and different other things.
All night being excited if 10 songs were there in the morning. Yes, Ben, your dad. No kidding.
Yeah.
Remember burning your own CDs and DVDs?
Oh, yeah, that's what I did. So that way I could listen to them at work or
Mhm.
on my way to work, because all I did was work back then. That's all I
Yeah.
did was work.
Nowadays, your computers don't even have a CD drive in them.
Exactly.
You have to get an external one.
Yeah, but nobody burns them anymore because it's really hard to actually find the CDs to burn.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of blank CDs out there.
Oh, so do I. I've got the DVDs and everything, but it's like,
Yeah.
What's the purpose of them?
Right. Well, Allie gets CDs because her boss recorder, when she records her music, it runs off a CD. Like
Oh,
she
okay.
can burn her own CD, and
Yeah.
then we can play her CD. Like it burns it and plays it right here at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
now,
cool.
I wouldn't mind having one of them. I can hook up to my computer. That way I can upload the music that I want to listen to and then download it on the CD.
Right. Or Dixie can give you directions. Jeff, pick up your laundry. Jeff, do the
Are
dishes.
you kidding me? I done told y'all Dixie will not let me do laundry no more.
That's what me and my buddy did in
Oh,
high
yeah.
school. He had the internet and the computer, which I didn't have. So I'd buy the CDs and stuff, and he'd burn CDs and DVDs. And
You
pretty
remember, what was it, Columbia House, where you would get 11
Yeah,
CDs for a
oh
penny?
yeah, yeah.
but you had to buy 3 within that year.
Did you ever buy 3?
I bought 1. That was it.
I never bought any.
And then they kept sending you threatening letters, you know.
Yeah.
And then I wrote back to one of them, hey, I'm only a certain age. Good luck with that one. And so, no, I didn't exactly bleach them, but let me put it like this. A bunch of them come out the same color.
Pink.
Something like that.
Jeff was going around in instead of his white T-shirts, he was going around in pink ones.
No, I ended up buying more. Back then, you wouldn't catch a real man wearing pink.
No,
Sure.
it's salmon.
I don't care what it is.
Salmon
Pink is
color.
pink.
That's some
That's
pink
not
shirts.
pink, it's salmon.
That's not pink, it's salmon.
I don't hardly
Well,
ever
what
wear them.
color is salmon? Pink. Duh.
Off red.
No,
And then
Say,
how-
it's a flamboyant flamingo.
I want to say something to that, but I don't know what to say.
I just plant the seed. You know, you'll be thinking about a flamboyant flamingo tomorrow eating lunch, and you don't know why.
they're light on their feet.
Is it like that gay dog in the bar in
Nobody says
California?
it.
Instead of going arf, arf, he went bowsy, wowsy.
Yeah, same plot.
Okay.
So,
I always called it target practice.
I hope that Eric's not falling for that extended warranty stuff when he got that phone call.
You're telling me I could get extend for another 3 years?
Oh goodness. My laptop.
What life you all do that to?
Or is it getting the free braces for your knees and your back?
Probably getting a timeshare in Iowa.
I have to come out
Beachfront
of
property.
my laptop's going dead.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Is it Idaho or Idaho?
I have no more juice.
Depends on if you was born there or not.
Oh, okay.
But,
I got out of my cage because I have to plug in the laptop. Mom. Oh, cage. Oh, shoot.
The cage.
I wasn't muted.
We heard everything.
Sorry. She asked who let her out of the cave. And I'm like, I had to go plug in my laptop.
they still never found out who let the dogs out
No.
all these years later, and they still ain't figured it out.
It was probably a dog.
Could be.
Yeah. You ever see those videos where other animals let out other animals? It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember the one with the monkeys where the main monkey flew them off into an island to live. They were being raised to be astronauts, and they're being mistreated.
Right.
They were in cages and stuff, and then
Project X with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I do remember that movie.
And then the monkey actually flew them over to an island to where they could,
Oh, this was a movie.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
called
thinking this was
Project.
real life. I'm thinking, whoa.
Well, I mean, it could have been because they
Well,
are.
What type of monkeys are we dealing with here?
That was a
No.
couple of years ago in Pennsylvania.
They have space monkeys.
Oh, yeah. I've seen yes.
It's not right. It's not fair. Like they don't have a choice.
That's like the one, well, I know there's been many, but like the one that was real publicized, I want to say, what was it, the 50s or the 60s? They sent into space and then he supposedly came back. I can't think of his name.
Oh, the monkey? Yeah.
Yeah, chimpanzee.
Yep. Come on.
Do y'all really believe they put a chimpanzee in space?
Upper atmospheric orbit.
Yeah,
Right.
and they do them under the water in those little underwater submarines.
There's a
Yeah, but-
dog. There was mice. There was
Yeah.
Now, I
tons
can
of different animals.
understand mice or dogs, but monkeys are more mischievous and curious. All them buttons up on there, you cannot tell me a monkey is not going to mess with none of those buttons.
Well, why would they have buttons in the first place? It's not. If they had a dog, they don't have buttons up there for a dog.
Right.
It was a bobtail dog, so that way when he swished his tail, he wouldn't hit nothing.
Yeah, when they send them up there, there's not like a controller for them or anything. It's just they're just going there to see if they live, and then come back down and what effects it has on them and stuff.
You mean they did not have an Atari joystick hooked up to them?
No.
My darn, there's another lie they
Probably just had a big ass diaper on them. That's all.
Right. I'm actually gonna send you. I'll send you guys a video with a monkey who lives with a family. He wakes up and he gets the whole family breakfast and everything. This monkey is super sweet. Yeah, they're super smart. He gets up out of bed. He brushes his teeth. He goes downstairs and he starts the whole food thing.
There was one on TikTok. There was one of them little ones,
Yes, that's
Spider
the
monkey.
same one.
Well, he died.
Oh, he did. Okay,
Yeah,
this must
they
be.
went and got another one though, because they made so much money off of him. Because people would send him stuff in the mail, like teddy bears and treats and candies and stuff. And they think that's why the first one died, is because what was sent to him.
Yeah, you shouldn't have all those things for them.
No.
They would have, like, he'd open up and there'd be a bunch of candy and stuff in there. He'd go crazy, opening it up and eating it.
Right.
Well, Vineyard Dad's got a good point. They put one in the Oval Office.
That's
Well, we'd be doing
no,
better.
monkeys are smarter than that.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, I agree.
You shouldn't put Biden in the company of monkeys.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with that one. Maybe the monkeys can teach him how to walk.
They'd probably show him which way to go.
I thought that was illegal nowadays.
That monkey you're talking about, Bushcraft, on is it TikTok? There's a
Yeah.
I think I don't know if it's in Vietnam or where it is, but there's this monkey that sits on the side of this busy road and he knocks people off of their bikes and their little Vespas and motorbikes and
takes
steals purses and knocks old women down, and
yeah.
I'm like, holy,
steals their sunglasses and
yeah. And this thing's nasty.
Yeah. There's a lot of them that's like that.
Yeah.
They'll sit there to get their picture taken, and whoop, there goes their phone.
Yep. Now, I had an aunt who had a spider monkey, and she went to work one day and come back home. There was flour, cornmeal. Her kitchen was torn upside down.
Yeah,
she said it took her over a week to clean that kitchen up.
Well, I'm sure Eric knows about this, but you go down in Florida, they have these spots where you feed the fish, where you stick your hand in there and they come up and pull the fish up. People will set their phones down on the side of on the dock in these seagulls and the mother birds.
Pelicans?
Yeah, pelicans will steal their phone and take off with it.
No.
Oh, I've seen that.
It kind of looks like Jeff.
It's like Captain America.
No, the pants is on the wrong end.
That's neat.
I don't know what this man does, but it's this man and his wife, and they have 2 young girls. And he's adorable, though. But the monkey actually cooks. He turns on the stove and everything. Like, he's just adorable. But the way he hops down the stairs cracks me up.
I love watching puppies go down the steps for the first time. They end up tumbling.
I try to get up them.
I did want to thank a bunch of people who commented on the video that I did the other day, the God's Voice. Because there are a lot of people said that they needed that little story, which is good. And that's kind of the reason why I've actually had that for a good while. And I would actually listen to it every once in a while. But I thought the other day that I had to, make a video out of it, because I just had the voice part and there was no background or anything on it. It was just the voice part. And I actually went to asked the person on TikTok if I could use it, and they had already been taken down. And at the time, I didn't know what the channel's name was. All I knew was where it came from. And when I went back there, I clicked on the thing, and it said Daniel 777. Yeah, I was like, what? How did I not notice that before? But it was before that 21 business had happened.
Wow.
And that said, well, I have to make a video of it. And I just got a bunch of different videos together of Alaska and stuck it together.
Yeah, it was good. Good reminder.
And I actually got 3 subscribers from it, which is odd. Usually that you lose subscribers from that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's like 3 to 7 to 10 right off the bat. As soon as you put out a video or a short or anything, you'll lose like 3 to 10, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, yes, if they don't like it, they
It's
got no
not them.
business being up there.
No,
It's not them, Jeff.
it's
Oh,
the,
it ain't.
it's the AI.
Yeah.
It's the minus this, and we'll give you back this.
Yeah. All of a sudden there'll be 3 random people like, oh, what happened to Bushcraft? I haven't seen him for a while. And they'll look, oh, I'm not subscribed to him no more.
Yep.
And it's because I put a video out that I shouldn't have.
But like we talked about this before, but what I don't get is I've been subscribed for 6, 7, 8 years to fish tank channels, pond channels that I've never been unsubscribed to, that I'm still subscribed to, not even watching anymore. They've never unsubscribed me, but yet I've been unsubscribed from my own husband 5 times.
Yeah, I was a member. Well, this is Bigfoot Prepper one. I was a member,
Yes.
and I'm like, why would I unsubscribe to somebody I'm a member to?
Right?
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense, and
No.
it's because he put out certain content.
Yep.
They've been up.
Hey, ER, what's up? You're making me laugh earlier. Was it all looking about like taking a trip out to Texas, getting me some jumbo shrimp?
Jumbo shrimp.
Yeah,
or crow-
and a short stack of pancakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
It's an
crawdad.
inside joke. Oh boy.
We were talking about crawdads earlier. That's why I figured you guys were talking about.
No, I know what they're talking about.
I would have sooner, but I didn't check my email and
I just got it.
I'm really lost because I haven't been around. So
well, oh well.
That's gonna be good though.
No, I don't know about that one, Chrissy Cat. That may be one of them jumbo shrimps. No.
Now, if you really want something good too, it's prawn. Prawn. Oh yeah, that's some good Cajun stuff. That's good.
What
Jumbo prawn.
Is that
yeah.
Or something? What is prawn anyway?
We got Nut House
Like a huge
and her up here at the same time. You know it's gonna go south real fast.
Well, when we
Hey,
used
Joe.
to get on Crazy Stream, it all went to shit fast. So it's you know.
Yeah. I better not bring that up because we haven't talked about it yet. Oh well, we always usually talk about food on here, but on Crazies, it's what comes out after you eat the food.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that got started with New York, you know, and people wearing diapers up there.
Oh yeah. Yep. It's part of the New Year's tradition.
That's insane.
Yeah, New Year's tradition. Cracking on stuff.
Can you imagine going and I've been what I saw
You see them walking with their legs spread apart, so they rub it together.
Man, that grossed me out when I first learned about that.
Oh,
Are you talking about Times Square diapers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I've been to that 3 times when I lived in Jersey.
And filled them up every time.
The people I saw, they just turned to a corner if they could find one or avoid someone's pants leg, and they just did their thing. So yeah, it's it ain't fun.
oh yeah. Well, the women folk, you can tell very easily because they just squat and dump.
Really?
It's bad. I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like Mardi Gras. After the ball drops in Times Square, what do they come through with? They come through those giant trucks with hoses and brushes.
Yeah.
Well, they're not cleaning up confetti.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
Well, so that's what they do. They
Can
go.
you imagine being a blind man and walking through something like that?
you'd be slipping, you wouldn't be.
They wear depends. Then.
Yeah.
It's like
Vineyard Dad, yes, that's me. I just decided I was a troll tonight, so that's why I put AKER.
and all they're doing is trying to watch a ball drop.
Holiday
Ooh.
troll. Yeah, really.
It
Then I got
Well,
smart
that's
and watched
not-
it from home.
It sounds like to me the ball wasn't the only thing dropping up there.
Right? Where do they have like a little tube? So they can just like drain it.
I knew some ladies that were able to get themselves hooked up and didn't have a problem in Times Square. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, I think it's mainly the people who
Don't care.
no that are not from there. Because if you're the area and stuff,
What's going to happen?
where to go, and you have people that hold your spot and things like that.
That's
And
the time when you
People
leave
get
your
shipped in there, they don't know any better.
yeah.
They wear their diapers and they're happy.
You can make a lot of money on that night. You just put on your door, bathroom, $1 per use. And let them in one at a time. A lot of money.
You know, the date for New Year's Eve is 1-2-3-1-2-3.
Oh yeah, you're right. Trippy.
I don't know how many more years we'd have to be alive to see that again.
At
100?
least another 100.
We can make it.
We just have to put our backs into it.
That's it. Raise the roof.
You can do
I
it.
hope I'm not around
Do it.
in 100 years.
You can do it.
That's one of my favorite songs.
What's that? What's the song?
I don't remember the name of it, but it's "You Can Do It, Put Your Back Into It." You were just singing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do it, put your back into it.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Sorry.
Not that one.
That might have been the parody version.
Salt and pepper.
Salt
Maybe.
and pepper.
It's by Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, that one.
You Can Do It. Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
favorite. That's like one of my favorite songs. It's one of my favorite songs to dance to too. It's weird.
You guys like the other song too, right? That like Usher song or whatever it is.
You touch
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah, with a Q-tip.
Hammer time.
Yeah. Don't forget that.
He's supposed to be the halftime show for this upcoming Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
We done got that bad.
I also can grab a hold of my foot and do the thing, Yeah. Bigfoot.
I actually got backstage with Salt and Pepper.
Salt and pepper.
I was the only white dude in the whole backstage.
What was
Oh, that's
their
fun.
favorite song? Oh, Push It, wasn't it? Push It.
Push it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Push it hard.
I bet you can't kiss
Push
your
it real
elbow.
good.
I actually can, but I'm not going to show that here.
I don't believe it.
Sorry, I can
Go
just
ahead,
tell
prove
you.
them wrong, Lake. Do it. Do it. You can do
Say it
it.
backwards.
No.
You
I
can
hope you're
do
feeling
it.
better.
I,
We want to go a little bit.
America's Got Talent.
Okay.
no, it's not talent. It's just a weird thing. It's a glitch that I have.
You got to have a double joint to do that.
There's no such thing as being double jointed. I forgot what it's called. But basically, some people are just more stretchy. Like, I can turn my hand all the way around and go almost like right side back up. Yeah, just, I don't know. Like, my elbow's down here, but my hand's up here. I don't know.
I used to be able to do that myself with the elbow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bigfoot
they-
says I'm an alien. I'm not.
You're a lake fairy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not an alien. Just different.
Just different.
Yeah.
The people that freak me out the worst
Yeah.
is contortionists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've known a few of them.
Should we leave it alone at that?
I've actually worked at the circus, so I've known quite a few of them. And they're a good channel if you guys want something to do late at night. He's usually up live. He has a good late night lives you can hang out to.
What did you do at the circus, Bush?
Well, of
What
course I
did
was a
you do?
clown, but I fed the lions and stuff like that.
Okay.
You could get rid of people you didn't like doing that job.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Feed them to the
Especially
lions.
those little kids. Wow.
Well, they used to have what they call freak shows.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, the bearded lady, the man-eating chicken, and stuff like that. I used to do the fire walking and walking on glass and sleeping on the board of nails and stuff like that.
I tried that one time. I tried the bedded nails one time. I ended up with more pimples than I did anything else.
All it is physics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you poke straight down on it, you're going to get hurt. If it's a big flat area, it's not going to do nothing. It's
Bigger surface area.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, the walking on fire is because I never wore shoes, so my feet were used to walking on gravel and everything else. And as long as you don't turn your feet to a certain degree or whatnot, you can walk on fire. It's not that bad because the outside of it looks nice and toasty, but the crust on the top of it is cooler than the sides, unless you turn your feet, and then it opens up that crevice and the heat comes up. and they would have like the people would go in to see the man eating chicken, which was the guy with the bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken eating chicken. There was this one guy, but he had a skin condition. He had scales.
Ooh, chirpy. Like a fish?
No, like a lizard.
Like a lizard.
Yeah.
Weird, man.
Yeah.
He didn't have gills or anything, right?
He had scales all over him.
No, gills. He didn't have gills.
No, he was a lizard.
Scales. Yeah, lizard man.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that wolf man? It's actually a condition
Yeah,
where people get hair all over their body.
it's mainly Mexico and South America and kids.
And kids are born that way even today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually like a condition. They're not really a wolf boy or wolf girl, right?
Yeah.
But it
Hypertrichosis.
It makes you wonder
Thank
down the line, did someone get frisky with a collie or something?
It's weird how it's mainly seen in that specific area or that specific part of the world, you know.
That where they get the I can't say it, never mind.
No, but what's so funny is that Bushcraft just said that with a complete straight face.
I know, right? He did.
No, it's true.
Perfect, huh?
Bad boy.
Doggy. I was going to say something else. Doggy style. Right.
Thanks, Peanut. That's what I wasn't gonna say.
I know. It was what I was thinking. I was like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Too late. I'm halfway through anyway.
And why does it have to be a collie? Like it couldn't have been like a wolf or like a bear, anything.
Lassie.
Oh, like Lassie.
Squat.
Well, they call them dog boys.
What's that, Lassie? Little Jimmy's in the well.
Again.
Right?
Right?
Yes.
Week for Lassie.
It's definitely interesting to know how that came about or what caused that mutation, I guess you could call it.
Boy.
And then remember those? I used to see it on TV. It was those twins. It was all black
Conjoined?
and white. No. It was actually sad. The person was probably 2.5 feet tall, and it was identical twins, and they had no hair. They had no hair. It was like part of the freak show. And it was just, I don't know. It was kind of
brutal,
sad.
It's like where people that like didn't fit into society. They went to like the freak show with a circus, where these people aren't freaks, but society made them.
That's how they had to make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poltergeist, the little short lady.
Yeah.
My dad knew her, which he thought she was a witch too, because she would make things for, because they did a traveling thing. I don't think I ever met her. I met the guy that was really short. He could fit on a bookshelf. I met him when I was real little. But my dad thought she was a witch.
Wow.
And she made it big because of that movie Poltergeist, and she got other films, and then the curse of that movie, she ended up.
Your dad think maybe she was like a real witch, like a practicing witch?
Yeah, because he knew
a lot of stuff happened during and after that movie.
Yeah, she died in the making of the third one, was it?
Can't remember one of them. Yeah.
Well, did they do like? Do you guys think they did like real witchcraft? Why would they have a curse on it?
Well, the thing is, if you go back and that whole movie, the whole series of that movie was kind of cursed because the set where they made it on and everything was actual a graveyard, and they actually used real corpse
Wow.
for coming out of the swimming pool, where they come out and float like this and scare the lady in the swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
Those were actual real corpse.
Yeah, I feel bad for that little girl too.
Yeah,
Her all kinds of bad things happen to her.
that's like one in a trillion type of disease that she got, or whatever it was called. But anyway, the short lady that helped them get the little girl back. My family, well, my grandma's side of the family were gypsies, and some of the stuff that she did, my dad knew what she was doing because it was part of my dad's side. My grandma's side of the family did similar stuff like that, like love potions and wards and things like that. And she was doing things like that. And that, like I said, that was before the movie. That was when they did the traveling, what they call freak shows.
Wow.
And he said she scared him, which was saying a lot.
Wow. There's probably a lot of witches in Hollywood.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
A bunch.
And I think Tasha, actually said, yeah.
Yeah.
They say that movie was loosely based off some events. They call it the Herman House in Long Island, New York, back in the 50s.
Remember, I was just talking to you guys about that, I think backstage one day, about the hermits. And, well, we were talking about the Hills Have Eyes and how we have those type people up and down. And then we were talking about the hermit guy that,
That's in New York too?
Yeah.
It's actually been designated a historic site now.
Yeah.
You notice how excited Peanut was. He's like, "Oh, it wasn't California this time."
Well, we have
a crazy place.
That's funny, Bush. I was just kind of curious because I know Lake's in New York, but it's probably, so it made me wonder, like, wow, I wonder what part of it it's in. Kind of like, because there's a Winchester house out here, you might have been there, Bush, but like it's by San Jose, so it kind of now it just knowing that she's out there, it kind of puts it in perspective, like how close it must be, like relatively. It's probably not like next door or nothing, but we can drive to it.
Well, people, again, always think of New York as like New York City, but New York City is just a blip down there. It's a big place and full of people. It's actually small. I mean, if you look at
it's just a little island.
It's a little island of all these people, and you spread the rest of us out over a course of a pretty big state. We go all the way up and touch Canada and lots of places,
And most of the island is man-made.
What? How they do that? Buckets of dirt or something? Or
well, they took out all the forest, of course. That used to be a beautiful place. If you look at the history of New York City, it was all just forest. It was gorgeous.
When it was a port and there was a fort there.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah. And then people don't realize too, like every single U.S. national park, national and state park, can fit inside the Adirondacks, and we still have room. And that includes the Grand Canyon and all of it. Yellowstone.
What was that movie? Bone Collector. They kind of touched on it on Bone Collector.
Great.
When he said when they found the finger at the railroad station, they found the finger, and it there was a bolt wrapped in something, and there was dust, oyster shell dust. And it's
Mhm.
because that's what they use to fill in parts of the island, so they can make the island bigger, so they'd have more space.
Scary. And then you've got the island of mysterious things over there. Things that wash up on the beach that look half.
Oh, from Plum.
Yeah, like the.
Like the island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah,
Mhm.
where
I don't know what.
Yeah, it's been a while that sometimes you can go back and look at the people who and the dude that was eating the chicken that had maggots in it.
Mm.
He ended up dying too somehow, some strange way.
No, but you like it.
But you can go on, and they'll probably have it on YouTube, and you can look at then and now of
right.
the people in Poltergeist, and you'd be surprised how many people are still kicking. I mean, it's I wouldn't say old movie because I don't want to seem like I'm old, but you sit there and look at how many people passed in that movie.
That's scary to think about.
Of strange ways too.
Right? That was Montauk Island. Montauk. Sorry.
That sounds familiar, actually.
It's the one they supposedly closed down where they were doing experiments in New York.
Isn't that what Stranger Things is based on, Lake?
Yeah, well, it's based on that and all the way up here.
I don't think they ever shut down Montauk. They just changed.
I don't think so either. I mean, who knows? Maybe that's how all these creatures got out, you know? Who knows? But you had all
Isn't there one of them islands out there that have a crazy house? Or I don't know what the asylum.
Yeah.
I think asylum sounds worse than a crazy house.
Yeah, there's a lot of asylums, and there's old tuberculosis houses where
Yeah.
they've made them like. I actually went to a scary haunted house one night, and it was at one of the old tuberculosis houses, and a woman in her 30s actually wet her pants on the hayride.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, it was pretty scary, but it wasn't that scary. But at the end, when you come out of the building, like you went through the dungeon.
Well, duh, you're not going to be that scared. You sleep with a Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, they had cells under there, like actually locked cells, like a jail cell in this old tuberculosis house, and it makes you wonder, why was there a jail cell in a tuberculosis house for children? Why was there actual like cells, like lock and key cells, and there was water that ran underneath, like a brook underneath?
Yeah, I think Ghost Hunters did a thing there.
Yes, they did, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, at the end when you like go through this whole thing, which took hours, you come out of this place and you think it's over, and the next thing you know, you're walking over this rope bridge, okay, to get out of there. Now, why was there a rope bridge coming out of there? Like, that's also weird. But anyways, from underneath the rope bridge, you got this like Jason after you, and as you're running away from him because you don't know whether he's part of the thing or whether he's real, you got Texas Chainsaw Massacre running after you with a chainsaw. And I look back and I'm like, okay, there's no blade on it. There's no blade. You know, there was no.
It's funny that you noticed that too.
Oh, that there was no chain on the blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't notice that. They hear the ing, 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 and that's it. They're gone.
Yeah, but I looked back and I was like, there's no blade. There's no blade. So, of course, I stopped running because it was just like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was scared, but I was still observant.
Yeah, that's pretty observant.
I couldn't believe that poor woman actually. And her husband's next to her, and he's like, "Did you really wet your pants?" I mean, like everybody heard, everyone knew at that moment. This poor woman got so scared. But I'll tell you, go into those places like, okay, like Bushcraft was talking about. There was a woman in that movie who was possibly, like, let's just say possibly, a real witch who practiced witchcraft. And you got people like that, like, let's say maybe working in your hospitals, working at a school, working at
Yeah.
that, I mean, seriously, that gets pretty concerning. Because you never really know who anyone is,
And there is a difference between somebody that's practicing witchcraft than these ones that are like Wiccans, that I don't even know if they're called Wiccans, that do herbalism and stuff like that to make tinctures and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, there are differences in those, and I dislike that they're all put in the same category, kind of.
Yeah. So if people mix herbs or grow and make tinctures, they're automatically labeled as witches and warlocks.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about people who actually practice, like the actual Wiccan with the spells and all that bad stuff that goes against God.
The bindings and
right.
The
dolls.
Yeah. When they tell people to collect hair and fingernail clippings and then bring them back to them and stuff,
or
that's some freaky stuff.
Or fluids that they're actually consuming, and
that sounds like voodoo.
It's the same thing, basically. Just a different area.
Yeah, similar, right? I'm guessing, because I don't know like how much about it, but all that stuff is like those kinds of things seem like they're interrelated or something, like voodoo or like
basically they don't pray to our God.
Right.
They pray to another one.
Right.
That is not.
Right.
I guess it also goes with some certain levels of ignorance, right? Because like the Wiccans, they think that they do quote unquote good witchcraft or something. You know what I mean, right? And that, which is still evil, but they think they get fooled and they think it's good. To the ones that are like way on top, like in Hollywood and all that, where they're doing it with knowingly what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Versus, I'm not saying one's good or better, because it's all evil. You know what I mean? And like people who do it and think they're doing good, it's just there's
there's a line, because I know some that they get labeled as a witch because they make tinctures and I'm sure I know I've been called some evil things, but that's beside the point. But because I make tinctures and I ferment things and stuff that used to be labeled as witchcraft. Back in the day, Salem days, if you made things that made people feel good or better, or
like a medicine or something.
Yeah.
Like CBD.
And they went to church and everything, but they still got, that's the one that makes them potions and things.
It's funny when you look back at like Salem and all that, like because I don't know a whole lot about it, but like that one way of looking at it's like that they probably call people witch just because they were like not the most popular person in town or weird or something. But an event, I wonder though, because like I don't know, because sometimes it's probably real. You know what I mean? And maybe like I tell you what they didn't have is all this wacky stuff going on now, where like they were a bit more vigilant, so they didn't have like people don't know if they're one thing or another. I'm trying to find a way to say this, but like with all the stuff's going on now,
Yeah.
Well, there are actual real rich witches. Like let's take up here, for instance,
RVP.
They come out of the woods, the saying. I mean, not you don't literally see them come out of the woods, but they come out of the woods.
I've seen them come out of the woods.
Yeah. They come out of the wood. They come out of the woodwork, like literally. But they'll like come up to you, and they're really, really friendly and interesting, and they have, they're pretty, and they'll start talking to you, and you know right away because of the things they start just talking to you about, how they like know you. You must be like this, and you must be like that, and
give me your hand. You got this awesome aura around you.
Right. So like one time I had a butterfly all around me, and this woman come up to me and was trying to talk to me about this butterfly being around me. And she was trying to tell me why this butterfly was around me. I wanted her to get away from me. You know what I mean? Because I knew what she was. But they actually practice up here. They have everything from what are those people who like read your future, the psychics. They have yeah. They have teachers that want to teach your children about how to practice. You got to be really, really careful.
I had I had one guy, and he was trying to tell me that like he was gonna try. He's like, hey, you want to know the secret of life and everything else? I forgot how he put it, right? I was like, I was very, like kind of unenthusiastic, right? But he wanted to say it anyway, so I was like, all right, whatever. What is it, right? And he's like, if you visualize what you want and then like try to go after it, like then it'll happen. And he said that came from like Madame Blavatsky or something.
Yeah, it almost sounds like Buddhism too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like
this camera really shine. I mean, he's not putting.
What, Dixie?
I know he was.
I had it unmuted.
I'm sorry.
I was talking to my daughter.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Jeff.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
It's okay.
So I didn't follow it, of course, because like it's like the way he says, like then you can have millions of dollars and this, that, and the other thing. But I was like, I wasn't even tempted by it though, because like it's if it doesn't come from God, it's like when you do something like that, it's like you don't trust God. You're trusting something else to do it. And if you don't have those things, it's because it's for a reason, because God doesn't want you to have those things for whatever reasons.
Right.
Yeah, when they tell you if you want a better job, do this, collect these things, and put it under your pillow, and do these other weird things.
Yeah, or my favorite.
That's working for the other side.
Right. Or like even something simple like, oh, you don't want spirits in your house. You don't want evil spirits. Burn the sage. Do this, do that, And yeah, those things may work for a little while. And it sounds all good and, oh, we don't worship, the evil. We don't do that, they say. But, it's the same thing. And you're poking, and these people, and it's men and women. I'm sorry, I keep saying women, but it's just more common here with women, is that the enemy will whisper into their ear about certain things about other people. So they're right. So people will start following these people.
Oh, I can see that.
They'll know things about you that no one else would know.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Because it's not of God, it's of the enemy, and the enemy watches every single one of us and knows a lot about us.
Oh yeah, I think that's how they do it. Because like I was watching, because one time I was living in the Bay Area, and this thing started with like I call it a mimic. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but it would act like it's someone else's voice who's not there.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? So that that tells me that like that they know how to like imitate other to disguise themselves as being something else, like a lost person that died or whatever, and then so, and also I think you're right. I think that like because they're always watching, right? And so I think they have, I'm guessing, just piecing it together from like what I've read from the Bible and all that. So they probably have like this principality thing where like one of them could tell the other one, they could tell something else. And then they come up to these people, say, hey, I got some secretive knowledge for you, or so, and I think they do whisper,
Right.
but I think the angels whisper in our ears too, or something.
Right. Well, like evil has been watching humans for thousands of years, since even before, Jesus was on the earth.
Right.
Evil has watched people and studied people. And they absolutely do communicate with other people. And like you said, like you gotta be filled with the Holy Spirit all the time.
Well, now, don't the good book also tell you to test the angels to see if they're real?
Oh yeah, good point. Like if they had to say that was it like Jesus is God or something like that, like they confess that Jesus, I'm guessing, like, don't deny that he's like, I forget how it says it from the Bible, like, but that he's God or something, and that he died for sins and was risen 3 days later.
Or test the spirit. I forget exactly how it goes, but I know in the Bible it says to test them to see if they are, who they say they are.
Yeah, you got a good point. Yeah.
I think they made a movie similar to that. Y'all remember the movie? I think it was called Fallen.
Yeah, I think I
With
watched it.
Yeah, Denzel Washington was in it, and when one person would go down, the spirit or the essence that was evil would go into like the next nearest person.
Yeah.
Or animal.
Or animal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I tripped out by that too. Well,
that was a freaky movie.
Yeah, but it was like they're telling you something. I think
I kind of took it as like like you was just saying, that voice or I took it as the fallen, like the fallen angels. Or almost, I think we all kind of experience in a way. You hear your conscience telling you do this, and you might hear another little voice saying, "Oh, don't worry about that. Ain't nothing going to happen to you. Don't worry about it. Just do it."
Right. So actually it's in 1 John 4. Dear friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit to see whether they are from God, because many false prophets have come or have gone out into the world, but every spirit that does not acknowledge Jesus is not from God.
Okay.
Yep.
And see, Ginger Ninja also said that, let me back it up. You test them by asking if they accept Jesus died for our sins.
Yes.
Which practically the same thing is what you just said.
Right. You asked, So.
And that passage about the pigs, like the demons went into the pigs, it's kind of like what Watt was talking about with the movie Fallen. So kind of it seems like it's like mirrors what's in the Bible. So it's like sometimes I think they say things that are true, but it's put in a movie form so people think it's not true.
And he would whistle that song.
Yeah.
That was a giveaway that, that's that guy or that evil spirit.
Yeah, that. Didn't he have a thing that he did with his fingers?
And Denzel Washington thought he lured him out in the middle of nowhere and thought because he could only live so long without a host.
Would it go into a wolf or something?
I remember into a cat.
I can't remember.
It was a cat.
There was a cat at one point, but I don't know what it was at the end. It might have been the cat, though.
It seemed like I remember the movie when Lake was talking about doing something with his fingers.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching the movie. I want to say he was doing a coin with his finger or something like that.
I don't know, but I remember at the end of the movie, he was doing this, and it's like, oh my goodness. And it was him.
And Peanut lives in California. He lives in Shaky Town.
You guys were talking about mimics earlier, where like you hear a voice that sounds familiar. That happens a lot in like encounters with like skinwalkers, and I call them like changelings or whatever.
Shapeshifters.
Shapeshifters, yeah. They can look like someone or they can sound like someone, and you go out. If you ever hear your name being called towards a forest, don't go looking. Just
Now,
don't. Just don't. And if you think somebody you know is actually out there, just if you have cell reception, just call the authorities. No, seriously,
Are
because
you calling me?
this
I hear
is
your voice over there. Is that you?
this is seriously really, really scary. But probably about 8-9 years ago, I saw Bigfoot, my husband, standing underneath the crabapple tree. And as I blinked and like opened my eyes, he wasn't there, and he was actually behind me, coming downstairs from upstairs. That whatever was under that tree was not my husband. It still freaks me out to this day thinking about it.
Yeah.
now there's an old Indian folklore that if you hear your name being called within 3 days, you're going to say goodbye to this world.
That's not true, because I've definitely heard my name called out more than several days in a row.
Yeah.
And my daughter gets that too. And we're
It's
still here.
that's
Well,
supposed
like I
to
said,
be
it's
it. You're supposed to see a vision.
Mhm.
Maybe I shouldn't go down to the
Is what
swamp this weekend.
I was told. If you hear your voice in a, and it's supposed to be your own voice that you
Yeah.
hear saying the name 3
Oh, really?
times in 3 days, then you're supposed to do what they call a vision walk or something like that.
Now, how does one do a vision walk?
Don't go.
It's
don't
called
go-
Oh,
peyote.
okay. Okay.
Don't
No,
go
it's
straight
not that, but
Some guns.
but
And
it's there's like a ceremony that they do, and I don't
Yeah.
think the white people can do it. You have to be Native American, and they go in the sweatshop
Right.
or the sweat tent or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
So it's
For-
either First Nations or Native Americans.
Yeah.
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 And I asked my friend if he ever did his vision, and he called it a vision walk. I don't know if that's what his interpretation of it was called a vision walk.
Okay.
And he said he had done it twice. And I said, well, what's the point of it? And he says that's where we get our name. And I said, your name is. I called him by his real name or his given name, I guess. He said, well, no, we have our Indian name.
Yeah.
I said, oh, that's cool. I want an Indian name too. He
Like-
said, you can't.
Yeah. like Dances with Wolves, or Bird Talker, Lightfoot.
Well, they have their animal or something.
Yeah.
And I
Werewolf.
said, my luck, I'd see a chipmunk or something.
A chip.
There you go.
That hunka.
Oh goodness.
I think I would be Sitting Wolf.
A chipmunk crossed with a beaver.
Somebody get him a saddle.
Oh boy.
Eagle or something cool like that.
Yeah.
Imitate. Yeah, it's scary, Lisa. It's scary. I think we've all experienced something out of the realm of what we think our normal is, haven't we?
Kind of
Mhm.
reminds me, like,
Yeah.
I've heard stuff move before, not here, but like at the old place I was at, and then there's like nobody in the other room or something. You hear like a clunk or something.
Yeah.
I've never seen things like flying in the room though, right? Like knives or books or something just floating around.
I'll tell you, I've seen some pretty scary things. But I got to tell you, the time I saw Bigfoot, like my husband, Josh, okay, standing out in the yard, and that was not him.
Or
Yeah, that's
the,
trippy.
That I actually questioned my sanity.
the
Yeah.
101 orb.
What?
The 101 orb.
The 101 orb.
Yeah.
No, I'll take in orbs and weird things in the woods and in the sky overseeing my husband, who's not my husband, standing in the front yard.
That's
Now-
weird. That's kind of like a mimic, huh? But it's different. Like another.
I've got pictures of orbs on film that I took myself.
I just passed it off as stress. We're just going to keep going with that.
Oh, it's like your shirt, huh?
It's worked so far, right?
Like
Well,
it's like
it could be when you get stressed that's lets things come in sometimes
Yep.
because your
armor's
mind's
weak.
not on what it should be.
I mean, anger can too, I guess, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anger's probably the easiest way to get flipped over to the other side.
Yeah. Because the enemy will definitely drive on your human emotions: sadness, anger, depression, anxiety, fear.
Mhm.
They obviously feed off from that.
Well, look at Hollywood.
Yeah.
Roger Howard.
They try to one of the ways for you not to get in heaven is deleting yourself, and it's those voices that you keep hearing. You're no good, you're not this, and you're horrible, nobody loves you.
Couldn't imagine.
Those are voices from somebody bad, because if you delete yourself, you go down there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Now, hang tight. I got a question for you. All right. Let's say you got a godly person, man or woman, whatever, and they lived right their whole time and they are right with Christ. Okay. In their old age, they end up getting dementia. Okay. Or something like that. And they lose their mind.
It's called a temporary impairment that happens,
Okay.
whether they're old or young. It's a temporarily, like it's an impairment. And
But
like
if
BushCraft
they
said, it's
delete themselves, do they go?
yeah.
But if they delete themselves, do they go to heaven or do they go elsewhere?
I don't think that's for us to decide. I think
Yeah,
God has to decide, because even at that last single quarter, like minute of a second,
Yeah.
little hairline of a second, that person, whatever there is on their heart at that time, God knows that.
mhm.
And I think it's for him to decide.
That's why you get judged.
Right.
Well, it's just a movie, but he I can't remember. Constantine, I think it was his name.
Constantine, yeah.
Yeah.
Back up.
He goes through and he actually goes to delete himself so that he could save somebody,
Right.
the girl, and that sacrifice that he did made it to where he could go over, because he tried to delete himself before, and he's marked that way to where if he dies, whichever way he dies, he's
Yep.
going to hell. So in the movie, he does this. He sacrifices himself, knowing he's going to go to hell to save that girl, and that
Ultimate
act
sacrifice.
made it to where he could go to heaven.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember that
And that-
movie.
And that's the thing. It's God who's going to get the last say in it.
Yeah.
Well, now, this is something I've always wondered, and I don't know. But if a person is fixing to die, let's say within a split second or something like that, but another person pushes them out of the way and the second person ends up dying, does he or she go to heaven because he or she saved that first person?
I would think that depends on that person whether they
The
accept
way they live.
Jesus, their Lord
It's
and
the
Savior.
same thing.
Right.
It's
The ultimate sacrifice, a life for a
Yeah.
life.
The only way to heaven is to just through
Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It
It's
depends.
to be right to begin with.
right.
Yeah.
So it depends
Yeah.
on who that person was when they did that, because if when your time's up, your time's up. If you
That's-
haven't done that yet, then
Yeah. Stigmata was a good movie too.
Yeah.
Person, like let's say he was a great person his whole life, and he saved this guy from the truck, and or whoever it was, and they died in the result of that. None of that matters unless he was saved. They believe
Okay.
it.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes sense the way we are taught and everything coming up, because if you live a bad life, regardless if you save somebody or not, yeah, you're going to be judged. And if you, like I said, if you lived a bad life and on Judgment Day, your past is going to be brought up to you. And it seems like to me, bad people's not going to get in.
But like if someone like that, they're like totally rotten their whole life. If at the last moment they found Christ, and they'd be saved.
True. And I was one of these type people. I did not believe in a deathbed conversation. I mean, what do you call it?
Death row.
If you was on your deathbed and you know you was going to die, I didn't believe that a person could be saved to go to heaven. And I was proven wrong on that, because the thief standing beside Jesus on the cross,
Amen.
his last moments, he knew he was going to die,
Yeah.
and he went to heaven.
Yeah. It's a
I
good
guess
reference.
thief, because the thief had been thieving. We presume he doesn't really go and elaborate, but I'm pretty sure that's the message. Is all, no matter what happened before, because he believed right at that moment, it's all good.
Yeah. And the way I was taught is, let's say at that last moment, you give your heart and soul over to Jesus, even though you go to heaven, you kind of going to smell like smoke, in a matter of speaking. Okay.
No, once you're in heaven, it's I don't
Well,
think
see,
it's smoke.
I've always been like this. I don't care if I get in heaven or not, as long as I'm right there camped outside the gates. Just let me have a fishing rod and a pond with fish in it. That's all I ask for.
The simple things, huh, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, really, if 90% of this world now is gimme, gimme, gimme.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the elderly people that know the simple ways are more happier than anybody else.
I think you're right.
It's like Tuck was bringing up the stigmata. One of the things I got out of pretty much everything, was the fact that the little poem was, you lift up a rock, I'm there, and you look at a tree, I'm there, and whatnot, and you don't have to go into a church. You can find God anywhere.
Yeah, true that.
That's not how it went, but I'm ad-libbing there. But and that's one thing that I kind of believe in, and it's probably going to tick people off. I don't believe in religion. I believe in God. There's a difference, because more wars, more people have been killed over religion that didn't have anything to do with God. I mean, we're talking about the witch trials and all that, how many people were killed because in the name of their religion, they killed people because they thought they were witches and stuff. And it goes back to all the wars that were fought, you know.
Yeah, the Crusades. That was
The
all about
Crusades and the escapades. Yeah.
So much over religion. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I'm just saying I would rather side with God than a religion.
Right.
One great thing about the Crusades is like a side note is like people don't realize that like that before the Crusades, hundreds of years before the first Crusade, that like the Muslims invaded Europe. Like they took over Spain, and the only reason, a lot of people don't know this, but the only reason that Muslims didn't take over all of Europe was because of Charles Martel. He was like a king or something in France, and he fought a much bigger force than he had without a cavalry and defeated them. Otherwise, and then later on they pushed him out of Spain. But if it wouldn't have been for him, then Europe would be all Muslim right now. So, I guess, to kind of like corroborate your point though, like they're believing in Allah, where we believed in. Well, when I say we, but the Crusaders believed in Christ, or at least they professed they did. But yeah, but the things they did in His name weren't really godlike. You know what I mean?
That's
So,
when Martin Luther slapped the thing on the church door. Remember?
Yeah.
They think
Martin Luther
Jesus
went right up and made that.
I can't even, an apostle. That's who the in the Quran thing. They think he Jesus wasn't the son of God or anything like that.
Right.
They think he's a
prophet, so they say.
Prophet. Yeah, that's it.
Right. So they don't deny that he exists, but basically in the Quran, they're
just a prophet.
Right. So the Quran is, when we know that as that's the Antichrist.
Right. Well, now correct me on this if I'm wrong. Okay. In a matter of speaking, even though Jesus was God, wasn't he also considered a prophet?
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree, Jeff. But I think it's within the context of how they're using the word. Like they were saying that like as a diminishing term, like, oh, you're just like, for example, Moses wouldn't be this, or who's a prophet, like Ezekiel or something, or Daniel, like that. Bigfoot would probably know way more than I do, but those would just be prophets. They wouldn't be like the status that Jesus has, or even an angel or something.
Isn't a prophet a man-made thing, though?
That's what I was thinking.
No, prophet is in the Bible.
Yeah, I know it's in the Bible, but it's what we call somebody that
who God speaks through, who God uses.
All the art of that. Okay.
God shows them things and tells them things firsthand.
Oh no, that's a saint that I'm thinking of.
Oh,
they make somebody a saint. Yeah.
Ordained saint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, we don't pray to saints or anything.
Yeah.
No.
Even though, see, I always call him Simon, even though it's Peter.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood that one.
That was his name in the Bible, was Simon Peter.
Yeah, I still call him Simon.
Right.
But, he was made a saint.
Yeah.
He's in Rome. That's, I don't know.
Roman Catholic Church you're talking about? Yeah. So they assign certain saints for certain prayers. So if you have a prayer for a certain subject, the priest will send you to a certain saint to pray to about that. Instead of going straight to God.
I don't worship or something.
Right.
Real quick, I want to add something about like Peter and all them, the apostles. Like a lot of people, they look to this passage in the Bible where it says, like, something about like buy me some swords, or I forget what he says. He's talking to the apostles before they nab him, Jesus is, and like he's like, hey, I need to give me some swords, and they got him 2 swords, and he's like, a lot of people they way abuse that part of the Bible, try to say, hey, look, hey, that proves that that God wants us to pick up an AK or something or whatever, right? But that's not the way they take it out of context, because when that that goes back to a prophecy where it says he had to be counted among the transgressors, and then the other part about it is it said is that because he needed to be, the reason why he needed to be counted among them is because he needed to be crucified, so he needed to put himself in a position where he could be criminally prosecuted or whatever. That's because if you look back into it, right after that, well, for one thing, he only got 2 swords. There's 12 apostles. If you do the math, that's nowhere near enough swords to run around doing whatever they're going to do. Then the second thing is Peter actually used a sword. He said, no, I don't need you to do that. And then the second thing, then he went and got crucified, right? And so that's what the goal was. And if you look at like Stephen, he got stoned to death. He wasn't carrying him. The lesson is not that Stephen should have been carrying an AK or a knife or rocks or whatever, because he prayed for the people that were killing him as they did it. And then all the other apostles, like for example, like Peter, or not Peter, but Paul. When Paul left to go preach over to, or was it Paul? I'm getting confused. But they went and spoke to Rome because they were trying to. Yeah, they were preaching over in Rome. But so what they did is they didn't stay behind in Israel. Say, look, we're going to fight for a kingdom here on earth. So I'm going to pick up a sword. We're going to fight these Romans, and we're going to get that. When he went to Rome, he didn't get, okay, we all got to organize. You guys get a bunch of rocks or so on the Romans. He didn't do none of that. None of them did. What he did is he preached to them the word. You know what I'm saying? So if any of them actually were trying to cause a war on Rome or whatever, none of them profess that. There's no, in the Acts or all that, there's not one example of the apostles trying to attack a Roman or anybody, you know what I mean, other than trying to.
They're spreading the word.
They're spreading the word. So even if people can't get past the context of that line in the Bible saying get swords or whatever, just look at what they did, and you can see that there's no precedent for what they're professing. It's just some way for someone to try to self-justify an earthly mindset where they're looking for, they don't even realize it, but what they're doing is they're still looking for a king in this world. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question, Chicken Noodle.
Always people that look for you to slip up and be like, oh, yep, that's that gotcha moment.
And that's the thing that always got me was, when Jesus would go to a town to, well, that too, but each town had these spots at the entrance where they had people that were being crucified up on crosses, and he had to walk past that knowing where he was going.
Yeah.
And I was, that always sunk in. I mean, he still walked and he still did what he did, knowing, because he already knew what his plan all along. Because like when he went back to see his mom, he says, this is the last time I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
And he still went and did these things, knowing where he was going to end up. And that thought in your head, you're sitting there, you walk through these gates and you have to see these people up on a cross, knowing that's where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And if sometimes what people do is they want to get stronger in their faith or whatever, they'll starve their body. They fast or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
It seems counterintuitive because people want to live, so that that's like it's understandable, but it's still kind of an earthly mindset. So everything is not, thinks it's God's wisdom isn't man's wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Well, that was one of the things, wasn't it? That John the Baptist made his followers fast for a long period of time. And
Usually it's
they asked Jesus, why doesn't he do that? And he's, I forget what he says, but more or less, that's not my way. And something, I can't remember what it was. This is where you need Bigfoot in here.
yeah. I can go see if he's available.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
In certain ways and in a healthy setting, it can be beneficial. It's like when we sleep and we rest, it's important. We're resting. When we wake up in the morning, what do we have? We have break fast. We're breaking our fast by eating something.
Oh yeah.
It may be a little difficult at first, but after the first day or two, if you could kind of stick with it or something different does happen to the body.
Yeah.
If you're capable of doing something like that in the proper setting.
Yeah. The way I look at it, I'm just using that as one example, but like the point I'm trying to make is that like it like according to a worldly mindset, you're like man's wisdom, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like if I grab a weapon of some kind, I could fight against the system and the evil in the world and this, that, and everything. If we all like gather together and grab our pitchforks or whatever, which I understand and I can appreciate because I live in this world like everybody else does. But at the same time, that's not God's wisdom though, because it's just like fasting isn't man's wisdom. Because you're like, what am I starving? Who does that? That doesn't make sense. Your body needs nutrients. What the heck are you doing? You know what I'm saying, right? So it's it's just like Noah building the ark. What are you crazy? What are you doing? That's like there's no water here. What's going on? It's the same thing. It's like
now. I will say this: when I was going to church and I was in church, pretty heavy. There was 3 or 4 different times I fasted, and I mean I fasted in a week. Damn.
Well, Catholics do it.
Right.
Well,
Ginger just says fasting is for the flesh, and
Yeah.
and Jesus is his heavenly Father, so he didn't need to fast.
Yeah.
You know,
True that.
when Jesus's cousin John baptized him, as God told John that he would, the Holy Spirit came down from heaven with Jesus's baptism.
He was already.
I wouldn't just wake up one morning and start fasting. I prayed about it before I started because I wanted to let God know why I was fasting and for him to give me an answer what I should do. Okay. Now, I mean, and the way I took it, it was not that, let's say, from sun up to sun down, you quit eating or you quit drinking. It was something you truly loved that you gave up to do.
Yeah, I agree, Jeff, 100%. It doesn't have to be food. It could be like music or like fishing, whatever you're into. That you're
chocolate covered cherries,
or sweet tea. And there's many days I went without drinking sweet tea on account of it,
Oh yeah, all the extra sugar.
I know. When people go into a prayer, like people go into prayer for a long time, they'll stop. They have to have water. You have to drink.
Oh yeah.
They stop eating for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you gotta have water for sure.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be food. It can be a mental or spiritual. Like most people nowadays don't really watch certain television. It's like YouTube or programs like this. But you could just do a no internet fast or a no television fast. Read a book, something like that. Something mentally stimulating.
Yeah, I agree. And but real quick, so I want to beat a dead horse here, but if let's say if you have, and I don't have problems with weapons. I have my own weapons, right? But but it's just, but the path with the word is the word, regardless, right, of how imperfect I am or whatever. But let's say you're out and you're like, I've got to get my guns and this, that, and the other thing to protect my body or my physical life or my wife's life or whoever it is. Like, I get it. I'm not trying to get down anybody, but I'm just telling you like the word is. So like, if when you do that, that's a worldly point of view because you're worried about the souls of this world and this earthly existence. But that's the point though. When you fast, just as an example, it's not about fasting. That's just a small point of the whole thing. So if you're fasting, you're denying the body, because when you deny the body and you deny this earthly existence, it makes the spiritual side stronger. It makes your connections to God stronger. And so that's what I'm trying to say is that it goes back to the two swords things. We're not meant to run around and like fight for USA or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that it's just the word is the word. We can't contort it to make it sound like the way we want to for what our perspectives are or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that's definitely not what God wants. You know what I mean? Like because the word is the word. It doesn't change. You know what I mean? And it might sound counterintuitive, but like if you think about it, Rome was a republic. The USA is a republic. You know what I'm saying? Like again, the apostles didn't go to fight the republic. You know what I'm saying? They went to help out the actual believers, the lost souls, etc.
The spiritual battles, not necessarily the fleshly battles.
Yep, where we don't struggle against like flesh and blood or verses.
Yeah.
Okay, educate me on this and hear me out first.
Okay.
Okay, now back in the day when Jesus was walking, they didn't have guns or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Okay? To pick up a sword meant to defend yourself or your family. Nowadays, when they say pick up a sword, that also means pick up a gun. It does not necessarily mean an AK, an AR, or something like that. It means to pick up a weapon to defend yourself and your family.
I got it, and I got an answer for that. It's like I'm just trying to use it as a metaphor just to kind of quicken the sentence up. But so I don't
just be careful with the words we're saying.
Okay, my bad. Sorry. So I'm not trying to say I'm not against anybody having a weapon of any kind. Matter of fact, I have. I'm not gonna say what I do or don't have, but I'm not anti this, that, and the other thing. I'm just trying to say, like, and so we all make mistakes. Like I make mistakes all the time that are like, biblically not accurate. We all sin, right? Because if you say you don't sin, you don't get the truth in you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Let's understand where I'm coming from. I'm not against those things. All I'm saying is that we all make mistakes, but ideally, if it with the sword thing, like if you can replace that with weapon X, a bomb or whatever the heck you want to replace it with, it's like that was simply there to get him crucified. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the point. Because it'd be like, you're going to go to war, but you're only going to arm, a tenth of or whatever of your soldiers, etc. That wouldn't make sense. You know what I mean? So the point is that he said that he's like, I don't need you to do that for me. I don't need you to pick this up and everything. Matter of fact, I'm going to give up my son for you. You know what I'm saying? So and I think he said some things like, don't expect anything different than what I did. You're the same. They're going to do the same to you. You know what I mean? You're going to get the same treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I was going to say what I like the fact that when he picked his 12 out, knowing that there was all these other different religions and stuff out there, and that he spread that just with those 12 people. More than that, but we'll say the 12, and then they sent after he had been crucified and everything, how much it spread just from the 12 people.
True.
Oh yeah.
Just how much territory it traveled to, where it traveled to, because you can go and try to follow where they've been or where they went after Jesus was crucified, and you could see the far areas where it reached, and it was like almost like a virus, but it kind of went
Blossom.
rampant. Yeah, out of just that little bitty little section, it just went.
Well, now, you know, you look at it like this, and I won't be scared to say it. The disciples that Jesus picked out, you know, he had thieves, he had murderers, he had, you know, people like that. They wasn't well-known people. They were everyday common people. He took
Tax collectors.
12 and he made, and, you know, let's say kind of like an example from them. You know, look, I can save anybody. Anybody can be saved. All you have to do is to believe and follow. That's it.
Well, just look at he picked one person that he knew down the road was going to be the person who got him crucified.
True.
He picked that person. You know, like, oh,
yeah.
He knew ahead.
Look at it like this. Jesus was of God. He already knew what was going to happen before it ever happened.
He was with God in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Amen.
He was God.
So see, he knew, Jesus knew what his fate was.
Oh yeah.
But I think before he ever stepped foot on earth, he knew why he was put here.
Oh yeah, like he probably knew the whole thing I was going to lay out. Like this conversation right now. He knew all of us are going to be here right at this second, all having this conversation, and the one to come, and everything else in between. It's like this whole. It's so complicated that this whole thing is part of a grand plan or whatever. Yeah, like he knew everything. Like even like the only mystery to it to me, in a sense, well, there's a lot of mystery. That sounds a bit arrogant, but like, is that is how he knew everything in advance, but yet still gave us free will, or for I don't know if that's the right term for it, but where we can still choose our own path for good or evil or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that says that we still have, even though he knows what we're going to do, it was still our choice to make that somehow.
Exactly.
Well, look at what Bigfoot was even talking about it. Which I kind of cheated and went ahead and read Daniel.
It's good, isn't it?
Well, I've got a good reason to read it all of a sudden, but
21
that he knew there was predictions of the future in the Bible for like 200 years ago, or 200 years into the future, and picked and got their names and everything.
Yeah.
And it's proven, and it's not like a made up fiction story. It's history. It's like a history book telling exactly when it happened and everything.
Hello, Michigan lifestyle. Well,
and told every king on down the road their names and everything, and what would happen to them, and
how it would happen. And
right. So he had to know all the whole thing.
Every little detail.
Right.
and the other one the one when he does on Sundays, he's talking about
Romans.
The city in the heaven, the dimensions, the cubits of this and everything.
Oh,
how does somebody have that knowledge in their head to remember every little detail? And like, you can go and look at this city for yourself, you know, a computerized generation of it, and look at the details of everything in there. And it's all in the Bible that you can get these dimensions from, and look at this. And how does somebody know all that stuff to write it down and never seen it, and just hear it and then have write it back down?
Well, you know, that right there goes to tell me two things. Number one, it's for a normal person to look at it and visualize it. That is one huge city, okay,
Well, it's
to begin with.
Yeah.
Now, you break it down, look at it like this. How many people has lived from the beginning till now? That city is extremely small compared to the people who has lived. So that ought to tell you right there, only certain people is going to go to heaven. And the people that's going to go is going to be the just people who do believe. Right or wrong?
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right, Jeff.
you might want to get something clipped off.
Yeah, I was just for typing in chat. Get them fixed. You know that pick up your sword?
Yeah.
You know, you can use that offensively and defensively.
Huh? What do you say, Late?
When you when you say to somebody, pick up your sword, it can
Right.
be used both offense and defense. It's
Mhm.
God's word.
Right. The sword is God's word, or, you know, do you believe in God? Well, tell him I sent you.
Oh, God. Goodness. Yeah,
Those run in some circles.
definitely get that Kiki neutered. I got mine neutered at 7 or 8. He was 8 months. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
the
was.
earlier the better, so they
Yeah.
don't. Because if they're older, they still try to mimic what they
Oh.
used to do.
Yeah, and the
We
longer
all-
it goes on, the more likely he's just going to keep doing it.
Oh,
even
wow.
if you do
That's
get 'em
what-
fixed.
I've never had a male cat, but guess what they do though, huh?
If you don't get them fixed, they absolutely will.
Yeah, because that's their way of luring.
Females.
Other
Female.
cat.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks for
Marking.
subscribing, Red.
And marking their territory.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't do that.
I'll be back in a second.
I know that'd be quite messy, right?
Oh.
What?
Jeff's gonna go mark his
Yeah,
territory.
you tell us.
Yeah.
Right. Why does your house always smell so weird?
Yeah. And cat
Right.
spray, it's really hard to get rid of. Like you can try nail odor and all kinds of stuff, but it's really hard to get rid of. So
Mhm.
as soon as your little kitten turns, 6 months, just go get that. Right? Isn't it 6 months, Bushcraft?
As soon as they get them down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are your cats male
Imagine.
or females, Bush?
Huh?
Are your cats male or female?
All male.
All male. Oh wow. They're all fixed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do they get along?
There's a couple that don't. It's just normal. It's just like people. They get bad moods sometimes, and you'll hear them all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's
The two males here are getting along. They're just respecting each other's.
oh yeah, it's
space.
time.
He's right at 7, so it's oh yeah, just get it done. The sooner the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't even feel bad about it. No, it's a must.
Musty smell.
Yeah, that's no. I mean, it's a must that he gets it done. Yeah.
Oof,
I
man.
remember Allie. I won't say the words up here that she said, but she was like 7 when she asked, and she asked me when he came home without those if he was still going to be a man, and I said yes, he's still going to be a boy cat, and he'll still be Raven. She goes, okay, so it's not going to change who he is. I said no. I said he's just getting fixed so he can't make kitties or spray in the house.
He's not like, hey, it's my first day of being a girl or something, huh?
Does it calm them down after that happens?
Not at first.
No.
He's like,
No.
what?
I don't know.
That for me? Really?
Well, how would you feel? You come home after you had them things taken off.
I'd be emotionally scarred. I don't know.
Right?
Probably
It's like
wouldn't want to.
a movie, huh?
Trust me, Raven did not lose any part of his man cathood. Like he is still
Oh yeah.
big buck face, and he knows he's the man.
Yeah, I'm not signing up for that willingly.
I know that's what I'm saying. I don't think they are either.
For the person who's got that cat with the spraying problem, you might want to invest in a wine stopper.
What's that? Like, that's
There ain't
like,
enough cheesecake in the world.
like Hostel or something, some horror movie, and they're like, "What? Don't go in there; it's a trap."
Oh yeah, they'd have to trap me in France. That's the only way.
Right? I think they have. Actually, if you think about it, I think most pets probably have Stockholm syndrome of some kind.
What?
They're like,
Big balls to replace the real ones.
they're like,
Hey, no way, Susie.
Oh no.
Well, you could get that little bells.
Ooh. Oh, that's even worse.
what happened to my parents?
Y'all talking kitty cat toys. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lisa, sorry, that's horrible. He's still happy. Yeah. See, they're happy. They're fine. They're fine.
Well, there are a couple different conversations here. There's
Yeah.
my dad got fixed after I was born, and then Susie D plastic balls replaced new ones.
Huh. Really? That's how to do it. It's like a fake eye.
Right, you fake eye.
Sure.
Those are big bronze ones or something.
Yeah. You want the cashew or the pecan model? Oh man.
Or the
Well, you
something.
see what Pure Blood posted is playtime without the responsibilities.
Goodness.
Huh.
All right.
Imagine.
I'm going to hop into chat and go see what the rest of the family's up to. They're
Happy New Year's.
happy.
Are you sure you want to take it leap, Blake?
What?
Are you sure you want to take that leap?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm out, Grandma.
Hi,
Hello,
Val,
lady.
Grandma.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Governor.
Welcome to our conversation about catstration.
It's catastrophe.
We go from the Bible to castration.
I don't know how that happened. We went from poltergeist movies even to like
Cat balls.
crazy
Pretty fluid.
houses to, you know,
Oh, I know what it is. We were first talking. Thanks, Eric. You reminded me. We first started talking about balls dropping in New York, and that got us talking about cat ball.
Full
Right?
circle.
Exactly.
Then we started talking about the pens, filling them up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, you guys can talk about food and old times again.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Back in my
Get
day.
mad in here.
Bushcraft, thank you for having me up. I'm gonna hop down in chat. I'll be in chat and still listening.
Have
Bye.
fun.
What?
I said, have fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know she's going to.
Well, Mom,
Are you
Mom
are you going out there to and in the chat at the same time?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well,
yeah, have
Mom,
fun.
Mom did knock on the door, and she.
Would you lock her out?
Oh,
Yeah.
she said you can come out now.
Well, she brought me a chocolate chip caramel drizzle cookie.
Nice.
Oh,
That
but
sounds good.
are you allowed to leave the room yet?
Yeah, I think we're friends.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
If I don't get to see some of you tomorrow or Sunday, Happy New Year's.
It didn't work out.
Yeah,
Happy New Year.
And Lake has a live tomorrow after mine, so
Right, but
And
this
many more.
we're already talking about ghosts and stuff. So you might as well stick around and go to the lakes afterwards because it's going to be about Bigfoot and cryptic stuff.
right.
Mm.
So we're not going to be doing the Bible trivia this week because I'm going to have some guests on, and Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a twofer.
I already said it. We already set it up. What?
Oh, Pat Evans.
Yeah.
Really?
I had to read that twice to make sure I read it right.
Could be the year. This could be the moment we've been waiting
Yeah,
for.
the fisherman balls.
The only way to drop them is close your mouth, paint your nose, and blow. If they don't pop out then, they never going to pop out.
Oh,
So you're gonna have a live tomorrow at what time, Bushcraft?
7.
At 7.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on at 8, and then at 10, the nut house is going.
Yeah.
The nut's going to be nutty. Oh,
There
he's
you
already
go.
nutty, but
Yes.
Right.
he's going to be
Yeah.
nutty live.
And God bless.
Oh
you.
wait, isn't that a drink?
Bless you.
Nutty live?
It
Don't
should
they
be.
have a?
No.
Oh, it's trending. It's definitely trending.
I'm gonna go and chat. They're gonna talk about drinks now and food.
And this is where it starts.
all right.
And then there were 5.
Just thinking about throwing something on the grill this weekend.
I
Really?
will,
That sounds amazing.
but I ain't shot nothing yet.
Got to get better aim. Aim small.
Get about my aim is good. It's them suckers just won't come in my yard. That's what it is.
What you hunting, Jeff?
We're gonna have poke and grits.
Okay.
Poke
There you go.
lips and because that's what you eat.
Have what? Wait, what kind of game are you after? I didn't understand.
Yeah, anything that's not human. Deer, squirrel. We even got duck.
Squirrel. Right. Awesome. I'm just kidding you. Like
But
maybe
the bad thing about it is, I can't cheat with what I got because there wouldn't be nothing left of them.
what about like getting somebody to dress up as like a female deer, and be like yoo-hoo.
I'm pleading the fifth on that one.
Oh boy.
You like Bugs Bunny or something, and they'll think it's like a female deer. You go, aha! And then like,
Gotcha.
Nut house. You do know my wife is sitting right beside of me, right?
right?
You
Sorry,
do your best to get me in trouble before New Year's, ain't you? I have sat there and tried to get her to dress up like a deer, and she won't do it.
It was like, have you ever tried hypnotism? Like you're getting sleepy.
Or
I don't play that game.
I end up falling asleep.
Puts yourself to sleep.
What would convince you, Dixie?
Nothing.
She's old school.
But you're gonna go hunting for something like that, though, Jeff, for reals?
You exactly right, Bushcraft.
One got loose again.
A whole barn.
That's deplorable chicken. I haven't seen her in a while.
Right? Exactly.
Whatever happened to her?
She's at Brown.
She crossed the road.
Man.
So she finally got away from Colonel Sanders.
Right.
On a side note, how about the Detroit Lions getting the first conference championship in what, 30 since 93?
Oh, you hear that?
No comment. No comment. No comment.
Yeah.
'Cause last time I said something, they lost the game. So I'm not.
Well, they didn't get it yet. I thought they have to beat the Cowboys tomorrow to get that.
No, they got they won their division. First one since 1993.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's awesome.
I can't say nothing. Falcons, they're the worst ever.
Who was that woman out here in the background?
They're really into it. Or like the Tigers or something. And then
Yeah, my
Red
ex actually made a Detroit Lions costume for Halloween before.
Really?
Okay, never mind. Question answered.
So,
She told me that like in Detroit that there was some drug dealers who had an actual lion or something.
He had an ice cream truck. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like a lion and ice cream truck. Is that what it
Oh,
was?
there's a lot of different things. There was a drug dealer. He would deal drugs secretly for people that knew what he had out of an ice cream truck.
Out of an ice cream truck.
He sold ice cream, but he had his side deals.
Huh.
For his
Where was
customers.
the lion found? Was that like in the ghetto or something?
Where was the what? Oh yeah, you can find info on Detroit. Detroit
Zoo?
Zoo. Yeah, they have a plaque up there and stuff. Yeah, it was a drug lion instead of a drug dog to protect the house, and they
Right.
rescued it and put it in the Detroit Zoo.
Yeah. So there was like some drug dealer had like had an actual lion guarding his
Yeah.
house.
For drug,
Yeah.
house.
Karen V, don't get my hopes up like that, please. She said that we still have duct tape. We can come help her out. Don't get my hopes up.
what's getting ducked?
That's the whole mystery of it.
Dealer's
As
choice.
What? As long as it's got a whip and fuzzy handcuffs, I don't care what gets ducked.
Watch as I squeeze my tiny nuts at your face.
You might want to rephrase that again there, Jeff.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Caramel
Ooh.
chocolate cookie. That sounds good.
What life? You said you were going to have black eyed peas.
Black eyed peas, collard greens, and cornbread.
How you making your black eyed peas?
I'll just boil them up. I'll probably throw a little bacon or a little fat back in there, season them up.
Yeah, they're really good for you.
And cornbread. What's the other thing?
Still got some. I still got a little bit of leftover ham. I threw in the freezer.
I like
Throw that in there with them. That and the
yeah.
greens.
Hot and spicy.
Hey, why is the cornbread spicy?
You talk to a couple of Southern people that know how to cook with fat back and grease.
Yeah, if you can find some good fat back,
You got that right.
Yeah, the stuff that they got wrapped up, it's all shrink wrapped in there. That
Yeah.
stuff. It's hard to say how long that's been sitting in that little plastic
yeah,
thing.
like jerky.
Yeah.
Now, we got a place that just started advertising. They've been going around a pretty good while.
There you go.
There you go.
No.
That's all you can have for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day is chitlins.
Read it nice and long. Well,
If that's all I can have, I'm gonna have to stand sideways so you can see me coming or going, because I'll be losing a lot of weight.
I learned that from you guys today. I didn't even know what those things were till today.
What's that?
Go get
The
a
ones I
grocery.
always had were good. I've never had the boiled stuff, so I don't know. All the ones I had were fried.
I would
What's that?
advise you not to try it.
Oh, y'all know. I've had them both ways. I didn't care for them.
I still got to try them fried. That way I can say I've tried them both ways, But no,
You tried it both ways there, Joe?
I tried the chitlins. I can say I've tried it both ways. And boiled just didn't know.
I bet you that old guy he just got a batch that come out of
That fell on the floor.
or something.
Yeah.
He says he's messing with you or something.
But he said, give me a bucket of them bad chitlins. I got a white guy out here and ain't never had none.
About 30 minutes from here, up over in South Carolina, every year they have this big event called the Chitlin Strut.
Oh,
It's
hell no.
and man, you go there and they got it every kind of way you can imagine.
Well, see, the funny thing about it is my son and his wife go to that church now. Oh, they did? Okay. He must have ate some of their chitlins in.
See, I remember some of the best food I ever had outside of my mom's cooking was when we'd have like the events at the church, like the family dinners and stuff like that, with everybody bring a dish. Oh man.
Well, now you got to admit what, when you have an event like that, a church or a family reunion or whatever it is, everybody who's cooking is competing against one another.
Oh yeah.
Who can bring the best food that they normally cook.
Thanks, OP, for becoming a member. I appreciate it.
You're not bringing the mac and cheese if you ain't never made mac and cheese.
Oh, heck
Exactly.
yeah. I've never had what you guys talk about. Like, we're from fresh. I've always just had it like you missing out. You know,
man, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, if it comes in a box, it's not mac and cheese.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, everything at these events is made from scratch, if you know what I'm saying. You know.
One of the best places in the South that I ate was in Alabama. And sad to say, I was the only white person there. It was at a Black Baptist church, and which I had a good time there. I mean, the music and everything. And then as soon as church was over, all these jackets came off and ties came off and went straight into the back of the church. There was a pit back there in the middle of church. You could smell something cooking, and I was getting hungry, and I didn't know that there was, food afterwards, because I was going to head off to McDonald's or somewhere to get something to eat because I was hungry after this. And we came out of the front of the church, and everybody started going to the back. And my friend grabbed me and said, "Come on." And we went to the back, and there was picnic tables set up in lines with food all over the place, and barbecue, and you name it. It was all there. And I never made a plate, but I had plates right there. As soon as I got done with the plate, there was another plate sitting in front of me.
Yeah. Well, see, I will not be afraid to admit it, but some of the best food you can have around here is, and I'm going old school, I'm talking grandmothers, okay, is the black women. Now, by God, they can do some cooking. They some of the best cooks I've ever wanted.
The men did the barbecue, though.
Yeah.
There was, and it was the pastor that was doing the barbecuing.
But you got to get it like this.
He had his jacket off, and he had his white shirt. Sorry to say, it got all stained up from him doing the barbecue, and it was over a pit. And he was flipping burgers and chicken and you name it. It was on that thing, and he would pile it up on plates, and it would get sent over to the table. And man,
lucky. But you got to look at it like this.
So full.
The hamburgers back then were juicy.
I didn't move from my spot at that picnic table for like an hour after I got done eating. And they kept trying to still put food in front of me. Oh, this is my new cake. I'm like, oh, I can't. And I can put food away.
Let me loosen my belt up about 4 or 5 more notches here. But yeah, I mean, But you got to admit, the side dishes at these benefits, they were better, if not the best, than the main course, the barbecue or the hamburgers. And don't get me wrong, man, that's some good food. That's some good eating. That's when hamburgers is juicy. They ain't been stepped on or rolled over with all the juices out of.
Yeah, and then the next week, I was already headed to the back of the church, and there was nothing going on. I'm like, "What? No, there's no food." He said, "No, that was a celebration. I forget what it was about, but I'm like, oh man." And he said, "It's okay. You can come home." And we got some after church food going on.
Well, do you remember back in the day after church was over, people would go to other people's houses and they would have a big Sunday dinner? I'm talking a counter and a table slam packed full of food.
That was my mom.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Or
them were
switching
good
down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate when you see somebody flatten. Well, there's different kind. If it's on a griddle, that's different from on a grill, because when
Open flame.
Yeah, when they go and push it down, all the juice goes down to the bottom of the grill.
Exactly. That's
It's not, you can't get it back into the burger. Or in the steaks, when it's on there for like 30 seconds and they flip it over again, and they keep flipping it, and they keep poking it, and then every time they poke it, that's where the juice comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, leave it alone.
And y'all can say what you want to on this right here, but a darn good cook in the kitchen has got bacon grease sitting on the stove. Hey, y'all can say whatever you want, but if there ain't no bacon grease sitting on that stove,
no, stay away from them.
Yeah, they don't know how to season their food right.
Speaking of bacon grease, tomorrow is National Bacon Day.
Sherman.
Oh, Bobby.
Have fun playing cards.
Popcorn with bacon grease on instead of butter.
You guys ever tried popcorn with bacon grease on instead of butter?
Or you can pop it in the bacon grease.
Well, I've cooked it with bacon grease.
What?
I've cooked it with bacon grease. You know how you put. You're supposed to put oil at the bottom, but you put bacon grease and then put the kernels in there.
Look, I don't care what it is. Everything tastes good with bacon grease, even bacon.
Yeah.
I mean,
might
come
have some
on.
in the morning.
They wrap a strip of bacon around steak, and it tastes better.
Like I might cook and eat a whole pound of bacon.
Oh man, don't even go there.
Just because it's National Bacon Day tomorrow.
Big BLTs.
Yeah. Just eat BLTs all day. There you go.
Yeah, I love BLTs.
Well, I'll have to go get me a BLT tomorrow. What
Well,
would
man.
I walk out with besides a BLT?
I'll start out with a BLT, but I'll end up with a B and a T sandwich. Y'all can
Nothing
have
wrong with that.
I can't eat the lettuce.
Oh, okay.
First spinach myself.
Right.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
this
BTS.
Oh, that's similar.
This is the time of year where people go and buy store-bought tomatoes. They good, but
Some of them.
yeah, some of them are good. But the best one is that very first one you get out of your own garden. That's the best tomato you'll have all year long.
Yeah, the Amish has a greenhouse right there too. So they go out and get the tomatoes right off of out in their greenhouse.
I love it.
Same with the lettuce. Everything's there.
Well, see, that's something I would love to do is build my own greenhouse, but I don't want no small greenhouse. I want one big enough for when I get through growing, if I ever do, it's going to last me that whole year.
Yeah, that was a good while ago.
Yeah, it was.
Well, they used to call it Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now it's just KFC. I think that's when it changed.
It did.
KF now.
And they don't even cook it the way they used to. Now it's in a special thing to where it's not supposed to be undercooked or anything like that. They don't cook it in the normal grease like they used to, deep fryer.
No.
Yeah.
How do you guys?
You lose that crispiness.
Ooh, it's best in the oven. It's crispier.
Do you guys oven bake your bacon? How do you guys do it?
That's the only way I do my bacon.
It depends what you're doing with it.
We did it at a restaurant that I worked at.
Bake the bacon?
Yeah, we did all the bacon in the oven for the sandwiches.
Well, when would you fry it?
If I need if I need more bacon grease, then I'll fry it in a pan, because you get more bacon grease from pan frying it than you do in the oven.
You do.
How would you prepare it for like a bacon cheeseburger?
Oh, I would bake it.
Bake it
because it's all flat and.
It don't shrink up near as bad when you bake it as you do if you was to fry it.
Okay.
Add a teaspoon of water if you fry it to the oil or to the bacon, and it'll evenly cook it.
She says put a teaspoon of water to the oil while you cook it or something.
No, to the bacon. To the bacon. The oil, it'll balance it out.
Yeah, that's if you're not going to save the bacon grease.
Now, see, down here in the South, I don't know how y'all do out in the West, but we save our bacon grease. That's like gold around here.
You know what? My dad used to do that, like way back in the day, but my family split apart, so I didn't keep up that. I just remember that he had a jar for. I don't know, it was a jar.
Well, one of the best ways is a mason jar. You pour it in there.
Yeah,
the chunks and everything, and then you put water in it and you shake it up, and you set it down there. You can flip it over upside down, and then whenever the bacon grease hardens up, you dump the water out, and all the bits and everything, the impurities go out with it. So all you're left with is just bacon grease.
Now, do you pour it in while it's hot? I won't want to break the glass.
No. You let it cool off a little bit. Don't pour it in that mason jar when it's still hot.
Oh, okay. So let it cool off first. Put it in the mason jar.
You just want it to cool down.
Okay.
Congeal a little bit.
Yeah. You don't to where you can hold on to the jar and it's like
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'll tell you something else. Could put you a pot of pinto beans on. And put you about a tablespoon of bacon grease in there, and put you a little bit of ham chunks in there. That's some good eating right there, and an onion.
Slow cook, yeah.
Yes.
Or the ham bone you saved if anybody had a ham dinner for Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got a ham bone in there, but I'm gonna make
that's free season.
The ham bone is better than just bits and pieces of ham.
Yeah. Especially if you had a way to saw it up and get you a couple uses out of it, instead of just using the whole thing at once.
You don't put the bacon grease in the fridge; you just keep it out afterwards, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't have to put it in the fridge.
How long is it good for? Will it go bad?
Don't last that long.
It doesn't last very long. You use it up pretty quickly.
When you're frying and stuff like that, just use the bacon grease.
Yeah, eggs or anything you want to add some flavor to, vegetables. Throw a little bit in your cornbread mix.
Whatever you put cooking oil all in. Yeah,
it's
grilled
good.
cheese. Oh yeah. You use bacon grease like you do vegetable oil.
Okay, like Crisco or something, or
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Don't ever use Crisco.
What's wrong with Crisco?
Long
It's
story.
it's actually
Don't go
the
there.
use of Crisco was actually invented to lube
So
the bearings in submarines,
Oh, interesting.
and they didn't change the recipe. It went from lubing submarines to making biscuits.
Yep, from Subo to Crisco.
yeah. Now, yeah, before you use Crisco, you'd be better off going to the grocery store and buying lard.
Lard, yeah.
If you
Yeah.
can find good lard.
Yeah.
It's hard to
now-
find that.
That's what our ancestors cooked with.
Lard.
Yeah. And to me, lard is better than Crisco or peanut oil. You know, plain and simple.
Uh-huh.
Peanut oil's not too bad, but you can't use it. It's good for like French fries, and it's good for deep frying stuff.
Yeah.
Turkeys.
Well,
Yeah.
now, since 2012, it's got to where I'll bake my French fries or something like that. I won't submerge them in grease like I used to.
Yeah.
You know, I've just about got away from that.
What are you using then? How are you doing it?
In the oven, my French fries, onion rings, tater tots, or whatever. You know,
Good talk.
yeah, I'll do them in the oven. Now, if I'm making homemade hash browns,
Okay.
believe it or not, I will use a well-seasoned cast iron pan, and I'll put a little bit of butter or with, you know, oil in it to keep from burning the butter. But it's not even a tablespoon of vegetable oil I'll use.
Huh. That's for the hash browns, right?
Yeah. But just remember this, when you grate up a potato, okay, crack an egg to go in with it and mix it up like that with a little bit of flour. Not much, a little bit of flour. That gets it brown, you know, like you would if you was to go to a restaurant and get it and they deep fry it.
It's like you're talking about like where you have like the potato all cut up, like in chunks.
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah, like shredded.
Shredded. Yeah.
You shred your own potato, you squeeze it till all the water is out, or
The
most
starch.
of the water. Yeah, the starch. And then you'll take an egg, you'll crack it, you'll pour it over in there, and you'll mix it up by hand like that. And then you'll put maybe a tablespoon, if that much, of flour in with it, and just mix it up.
Yeah, Joe. Tallow is from the cow. Lard is from a pig.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I was told coming up, and I'm talking 5 or 6 years old,
Yeah.
there was 2 types of hogs that you slaughtered. One was for the meat, and the other one was for lard. The bigger they are, the more lard you got out of.
Oh yeah. Inevitably, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that's what they done. That's how they got their lard, and that's how they got their meat. You
Well,
know,
nowadays there's a breed that you get both of them. You get both from the same pig.
but to me, it just don't have the same taste. You know, for the young people, they don't know what we're talking about. Okay. But for people who are in our age group or whatever, we know what we're talking about. And there is a difference in taste.
Oh yeah. And you can tell the difference between what what the animal was eating too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know, what was it, a month before they processed the meat, they would go through and clean them out. You know,
Yeah.
they would give them certain foods to help clean them out.
Corn and stuff.
Corn.
Yeah. That's even with the cows. They would do the same thing.
Oh yeah, all animals.
Chickens, yeah.
Yeah. Unless you hit a chicken with a car going down the road, then you reach out and grab it.
Oh,
And
better
then
kill.
guess what we having for supper that night?
Have you ever had roadkill?
Yeah. I have. Have you?
Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Yeah.
What kind of roadkill was it?
Deer,
Possum.
plenty of squirrels.
Oh, definite. Now make sure you don't get the flat squirrels. Make sure they still
Yeah.
pluck.
Rabbits, you know, usually what goes across the road. But I
And
remember one night, and this was a long time ago, so I'm sure I won't get in trouble for it.
statute of limitations.
We used to commandeer deer certain ways, and at the time we could sell them to a certain butcher.
Mhm.
We were out and didn't have anything to take said deer down, and we seen a nice big one, and I had this little old hatchback Subaru. And I said, I bet you I could hit him in a certain way. I bet you I could get him. And I'm chasing this thing through a field, trying to get maneuver in front of him to sideswipe him. Couldn't get it done. So only other thing I had in the vehicle was a hatchet. So I'm still in this field, got out in front of him, and he's coming at me. I took that hatchet and threw it. And this was not like a throwing hatchet or anything. This had a hammer on one side, stuck him right between the head antlers, took him down. And everybody's in the car and like,
wow.
There's no way I would have ever been able to do that again. And unfortunately, we couldn't sell it, so we ended up separating it with the four of us.
The ones where the deer gets hit, does that like bruise the meat or anything like that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why you try to hit him in the head.
Yeah.
Because the prime meat is the back and the back end.
Mm-hmm.
There's meat on the front, but the best stuff is at
loin and the hams. Yeah.
Like the shoulders and like the rear end or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So like the chest is like it's not as good, I guess.
Right? It's all edible too, but it's just like anything, like a cow. You got different cuts, different better reasons,
Yeah.
Listen to no look what time.
Yeah. If you and it's a good idea for people to watch, which it's very hard to watch nowadays, but to watch somebody butcher an animal. That way you can tell the different cuts and how to get certain parts of the meat out. Like used to be, I see a lot of people saying backstrap, but you believe it or not, there's a better cut of meat. It's called the inner backstrap. It's the inner part of the carcass part. If
I
you
never
get
had
that
even
strip of
one.
meat, the inner backstrap.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good stuff there.
Nut house. I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay.
If you know somebody that goes deer hunting or whatever, and they're going to give you some deer meat,
Yeah.
the first thing you ask is, how long did it take you to field dress it?
Okay.
What that means is they let it bleed right there on the spot. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
You know, they wait, let's say a day before they field dress it. Don't eat none of that meat.
Oh, that's good to know.
Oh yeah. After it cools off, it's no good.
Right.
If the the innards are still in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And the innards being the sac that holds its pee and the poop. That's the main thing that has to come out fast.
Right, you'll ruin the meat.
Make a mistake while you're skinning the deer and you cut that sack, all that meat's tainted.
Yeah, it's ruined.
Oh man! So you have to field dress it within 24 hours, or what's the time frame on that?
The best time to field dress it is when you see that deer and it's dead right there on the spot before you move it.
Yeah,
when it's warm, that's when.
Yeah,
but there is also a catch. Just because that deer is laying there and you think it's dead, it may not be dead. Yeah. And I've heard tell of a lot of people getting mauled by a deer like that. You
think the antlers are the things you have to watch out for on a male. The worst thing is that the hooves of this thing will slice you right open.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And there's a thing with deer, and unless you really have to, and it depends when you get it and stuff, is letting the meat age.
Right.
After you get the skin and all the hide off and all that stuff, and it's washed down and everything, you hang it.
Now
you can quarter it up and everything and stick it in the refrigerator to age inside of a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Because I've done that.
Now, I've heard a lot of hunters tell me the same thing. When you shoot a deer and you walk up on it, there's two things to make sure of. Number one is make sure his eyes are still open. And the second one is make sure his tongue is hanging out. If neither one of those have occurred, that deer is not dead. Now, don't get me wrong or nothing like that. I've never been deer hunting myself, but don't think I'm going to pass up an opportunity because, hey, I'll try it. I'll butcher one. If it means starving or whatever, I'll take the whatever.
Believe it or not, I've never been officially deer hunting where you actually have a license and stuff.
Yeah, but I like how you said that.
I've got a lot of deer. I wouldn't do that nowadays, but when I was younger, it was.
Oh no!
It was feeding my family and making a little buck here and there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And this was in McConnellsville, the same area that Bigfoot was talking about, the Bigfoot thing that he was talking about yesterday. We went out and got deer. A lot of times it was on people's property that gave us permission to get deer. And if we were using the deer, we actually used the hide. We used all the parts and everything. We even used the hooves and stuff
From
for
snout to
gun
hoof.
racks and stuff. Because you can make them turn up like this, so that you put them, screw them into a board, and they'll hold up your guns and stuff like that.
Right.
Oh, right.
And
Now-
we would sell them that way.
Now, I don't know about Watts area or Bushcraft's area, but if you get caught hunting a deer with no license, the game warden can take your firearms, they can take your vehicle, and they can also take your license. You know, you'll never get license again, and they can fine you all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's called poaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This time of the year where I'm at, I just wait for the phone to ring. Hey man, I got a deer. You want some of the meat? Just go pick it up.
And you
All
guys
right.
down there got them little bitty deers down there.
Hey,
Yeah, but there's a lot of them.
Zero
Though.
I don't know.
deer,
North
little
Florida
bitty
and
deer.
southern Georgia, their deer are getting bigger.
Yeah, they are.
They
Yeah,
got to fight off the pythons.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, you know how the deer are up here.
Oh, up your way.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like a key deer down in the Keys.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, those are like the little greyhounds, you know.
Yeah, I got nothing against people in Oklahoma, but they were they was like, "Oh, this is a giant deer," and I'm like, "That thing looks like a dog."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Yeah, see some of the big deer over here in Ohio, and up in the north area. The whitetails are huge compared to them little deer.
Dogs.
The elk up where I'm at.
I mean, that's probably why they get to take out like 3 of them down there."
I don't know. They're everywhere, man.
Well, now I would like to see a mule deer up close. I have always heard them mule deer are some huge deer.
Wait, you ought to see an elk.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm
Really?
at. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
got. I have an elk up here.
Yeah,
I've
elks
eaten
are.
elk.
That's not even close to a deer.
Oh, no.
Those things.
They're
I mean,
huge.
those racks
Mm-hmm.
are huge.
Well, now there's
That same thing with the moose.
Yeah.
now I've heard when a moose or an elk comes in season, the last thing you want to do is, if one is standing in the road, to blow your horn at it.
Oh, not so much the elk, but the moose. That's the number one thing that kills people in Alaska is moose,
The horn.
because
Yeah,
they're more dangerous than the bears. And
they're
Yeah.
aggressive. I guess it's from watching videos on it. But the elk up here, they're pretty mellow. You know what I mean? They'll like,
yeah,
you know,
it's mainly the females. If there's youngins, and that's pretty much everything. But they don't give a crap. They'll stomp you to you don't move again.
Mm-hmm.
Ragnar, I would love to take you up on that invite. But all I want to know is what type of gun would I need?
For what?
Moose or elk? Because I know a regular 12 gauge ain't going
Nah,
to.
you need a rifle.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't go anything less than a 30-06. Probably a 7 Rem mag would be good too. Or
How about a 308?
That's fine, but you got to have real good ammo and you got to have good shot placement. And be
Okay,
ready to follow up with another one. Right.
Well, like I said, I've never really been deer hunting, but you give me the opportunity, I'm subject to take one depending on my situation. Okay. Now I'll eat deer. I know how to cook deer. I got no problem with it, but I'm not going to just go out and get deer meat from just any Joe Schmo. I got to know this person.
yeah, I heard. Yeah,
No.
Oh, yeah.
reasons.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, my brother-in-law came up with a deer and said he wanted it to dress it and everything there. I said, "Oh, hell no. No, no, no." I said, "We'll go out in the middle of the woods somewhere and do this. We're not
Right.
doing it here." I said, "I don't see no tag on that. I know enough that I don't do it at home."
Well, now what trips my trigger quicker than anything else is to see where somebody has thrown a deer carcass over a bridge and the head is gone and all that meat is still attached.
Oh yeah.
It burns me up more than anything.
Yeah, there's a special place for those kind of folks.
Yeah. Hello, Ark Wild Man. How you doing,
Yeah,
sir?
I was going to say, Ark's where he lives, 243 and 65 Creedmoor. That's very good rounds, but we're talking moose. So I like to go, a bare minimum of, an 06.
Yeah,
or Winchester mag. That's an awesome round.
Okay.
Like them guys that go hunting with a low powered, not a crossbow, a bow for bear hunting, and that bear is charging at them head first. Would you rather have something with some kick to it, or a little bow and arrow?
No, I read like a magnum or like.
I wouldn't hunt bear with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Hell no. Because
from what the videos I've seen, them bear, they not slow.
No, bears are not slow.
It's like maybe a second they're there, right? They're super fast.
They're on you before you can bat your eyes.
Yeah, you get like maybe 1 or 2 shots. I guess I don't know, but from what I've read about it, right? Like maybe 2 shots, like the first one, and then they're on you. Maybe.
Well, it depends what you're using too, because if you have a bear charging at you, the target you have to shoot at is that head, and you believe it or not, that is a very thick skull.
Yeah, like some smaller rounds will bounce off it or something, right?
Yeah, that's why you see. There was a movie where this bear had scars on his head, where somebody tried to use a pistol on it, and they're not there no more because they used something that just wasn't enough to get through that skull.
Is it like would a 44 Magnum work?
Yeah, but most of the Rangers out west, they use a 12 gauge rifled slug.
Yeah,
which is that's over 300 grains of whoop ass. So
a slug will drop a bear if it's head.
Hell yeah. It doesn't have the range of a rifle, but you got a Bruin 30 yards, 20 yards, 10 yards.
Yeah.
You open up with a slug, he's gonna feel it.
Okay.
But you'd always have a sidearm with you too, with hard cast bullets.
That's why I thought like a sidearm would be like a 44 Magnum or something.
Yeah. As a backup, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
like,
for the backup sidearm, what caliber would you suggest?
44 is nice. If you're semi-auto, a 10 millimeter, whatchamacallit. But a hot load.
I'm doing bear hunting. I want a damn 500.
No, that's not practical though, because they're hand cannons and you're all over the place with aiming. You've got to have, you know what I mean? That's more of a
put your eye out, kid.
No?
What's that huge round?
Yeah.
Like,
and then the bear's chewing on your bones.
You want to be able to, if you got to drop
your nose,
shoot the sidearm, you want to be able to shoot it accurately even while you're running. So you're not going to do that with a 500. That thing's like 20 pounds.
Damn.
Oh, I get it out. And he's already chawing on your innards.
Staying away
I
from the
got it out.
bears.
Whoops.
What about like this is gonna be ridiculous, like a 50 caliber round or something?
DMG? Nah, you'd have to get a Jeep to lug that into the woods to begin with.
Right.
I'll be back in a minute. I got to take a shot.
It's set to be the Rambo of all bears.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. 44 mag. Yeah, Ark's right. That's a good round.
Or C4. Right.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, we got him, Captain.
Man down.
Man down.
A bazooka. You want a toothpick? Okay. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Could be that wet.
If you see the rangers up in like Wyoming and Colorado and Idaho and places like that, look what they're carrying around.
Pump shotguns.
Well, they're sidearms I'm talking about.
Oh,
They're not like street cops or that carry around 9 millimeters or something.
That's not enough power.
Yeah.
That would just tickle them.
Cocaine bear.
You seen that?
that was good.
Was it funny or what? Cocaine bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched it just because it was happening in Georgia, so they say.
Oh damn! I didn't know that. Was it a good movie?
It had its moments.
Yeah, it had its moments.
When I first heard the story of that, it just made me laugh.
It's the wildest story, but of course they had to juice it up for Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 millimeter Vulcan. Yeah. Go in the woods with a chain gun like Jesse the Body on Predator.
Yeah.
That'll take down a bear.
You're supposed to be making another one of them movies with
I saw that.
With Arnold and the I guess whoever's left.
Whoever's left.
The last of the action heroes.
Well, let's see. Arnold was the only one that made it out of that movie. So,
yeah.
No, that other guy too. The one that got his arm torn off. He got airlifted out too.
Predator or something?
Yeah.
That was a cool flick, though.
Jesse the Body got it. Carl?
Yeah, but it's the movies. Everybody always comes back.
He's the governor of Minnesota, don't you know?
Yeah, he's something.
He did a little bit of everything in his life.
There you go, Grace.
Fresh hot bagel.
It's got to have cream
Sounds
cheese.
good.
Cream cheese.
I've had like the
They
Hawaii
got the good bagels up there too.
Oh, New York, probably, yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
pizza too.
Oh yeah, pizza definitely.
Especially the street vendors, man. They boil them right there in their tanks. Oh
Yeah.
Man. Sounds good.
That's what I remember is getting a big slice of pizza when I was waiting for the bus, so I had 2 days, and that's all I did is walk the whole back and forth. Each block I went down, and I'd start getting hungry, and I find a place, and it was either too much or cheap, and I'd eat there. And that's one of the places I remember is getting a big slice of pizza. And New York slices of pizza are huge.
Yeah, New York style pizza.
On a piece of paper plate. A real paper plate too.
Yeah.
And all the grease would bleed through the plate. Mm-hmm. And that's why I wondered. I said they gave me napkins under the plate. And I'm like,
why?
You'll find out.
And then pretty soon it was on my hand. It bled through the paper plate, the napkin, and then got to my hand. But it was good. It was a good piece of pizza. And there was a line to get this pizza too.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know it's good.
And they didn't have, it was just cheese. They didn't have,
Right.
pepperonis or anything on it. It was just cheese pizza.
Mm.
It probably is not like that today. That
probably not.
poor city's turning into
Yeah.
I mean, when I did that, you're standing right next to a grate on the sidewalk, and you could hear the subway going underneath you.
Yeah.
And the steam would come up through the grate, and then you'd smell the steam, and then you'd smell the bagel, or you'd smell the hot dog, you'd smell the pizza. I mean, that was NYC.
Nathan's. I went there and ate hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you it doesn't taste like they did in the 90s. And this was in 1991. I was there. And the streets were horrible looking, but and everybody told me there's certain areas I wasn't supposed to go into, but I walked anyway. I never got, nobody asked me for money or anything when I was there. I never got mugged or anything, and just walking, just me walking. Cause that's all I had to do. Yeah. You can't sit anywhere because the cop will come by and say that you're a vagrant or something like that. So I just walked.
Where did you stay somewhere?
I was taking a bus out of New York, and it was a layover for 2 days, and you can't stay at the bus stop. So I put all my stuff in a locker and just walked.
Oh man, you're walking.
The first night I slept in the park. I can't remember. There's a statue there. I can't remember what it was, but there's benches all the way around it in certain areas, and everybody was already sleeping in them, and there was one left, and I passed out right there. And then got up the next morning and walked again, because at the time there's no motels. There's only hotels, and every hotel I went into was huge and very expensive. So I gave up trying to find a place to stay for a night.
Wow.
No, Grace, I never went to that bagel place.
What time of year is that?
It was in summer, so it wasn't cold or anything. Yeah. I think it was May and June ish, somewhere in that area.
So you had 2 days, so you didn't hit all 5 boroughs, right? You just stayed around the station?
No, I walked the whole thing, all the way back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of walking. That's Manhattan Island. That's long.
Yeah, because I from where the bus station was, it's in the hundreds something.
Right.
And I walked all the way down until I could see the bridge, one of the bridges. I couldn't remember which one it was. And then I couldn't go. There's like I wouldn't call it a freeway, but it was more like a freeway. I couldn't go that way because it was all blocked off to pedestrians. So I had to go back up and go a block over. And then I went back that way. And like I said, I went back and forth and went down one side and went down the other one. And the first day, by the time I got done, I was at the park area.
Maybe like
the park is huge. It doesn't look that big. It doesn't look that big when you see the aerial.
Oh, no, it's got a big lake in it too.
Yeah. I was like, holy crap. Did they put this in here somewhere? I'm like, this is huge.
I'll probably like watch a movie or something. Go to a theater.
Yeah, because you know when
Central Park.
That's been host of a lot of Hollywood movies, Central Park.
Yeah, the
Oh
Keanu Reeves was the alien guy.
Right.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
War
with,
of the
her name.
The last
War of the Worlds.
No, War of
that
the
was Tom
Worlds.
Cruise.
The big alien
I know.
With
robot thing was
with Jennifer Connelly. I forget the name of the movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember the movie.
Final Day or something, or The Day the Earth Stood Still. Is that what it's called?
That's
I think
it.
so.
That's
Yeah.
it.
The
What
Day
was
the
it?
Earth Stood Still.
Remake.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yep.
And that looks like a small park when they showed the aerial part of it.
Mhm.
But when I was there, it was like, holy crap, this is huge. Because when you start off on one end of it and you're walking because it's on your right side. I think it was on my right side. And you're walking. It took forever to get to the other end. Those streets take a long time to walk from one side to all the way to the other.
It's almost 1,000 acres, they say.
Isn't it really? Yeah, it's huge.
I've never been.
And that's the thing. I didn't want to go all the way in there because I didn't want to get lost. Because if I was on the streets, I knew how to get back to the bus stop. But if I was in the park, I was afraid I was going to get lost. So
Right.
I went in there far enough to go to the statue that had the benches around it. And that's where I camped out for the night.
Hey, Eric, what's the name of that movie that you had me watch?
Oh God. The Road to Wellville.
The Road to Wellville. Yeah, that's the name of the movie I brought up earlier.
That was
It's hilarious, right? And at the
that's
end,
with, Matthew Broderick and Sir Anthony Hopkins and who else is in? Bridget Fonda.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that was funny.
right. He's like, my bowels are immaculate.
That's Dr. Kellogg. He invented the cereal.
Oh yeah. Oh, Dana Carvey was in it too.
Yes, that was his son.
Yeah.
He used to throw bags of shit at the guests.
Yeah.
Grace, I did not know he brought up a tanker full of water from Brooklyn. That's dedication, huh? That really is. Make the old bagels.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know what I miss the most?
I remember a bagel place. Well, there was tons of them, but I did get one of them wanted to put salmon on there, and I didn't want no salmon because
lox and bagels.
I didn't trust. You know, I was like, I'll just stick with the cream cheese.
Right.
And he says, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And yeah, and there was one. What do they call them? Delicatessen.
Delicatessen.
Yeah, and that I stopped by because they had a sign out there for like $3.50 for a sub, and they cut all their meat right there and everything.
Right,
and I was,
right.
Oh man, that was one of the best sandwiches I ever had.
Wow.
I bet.
Yeah, I miss, like, obviously back in my early 20s when I go to work at the car dealership, I'd stop at a 7-Eleven every morning. I'd get a buttered roll and a large coffee, light and sweet. And you tell me I can't find a freaking buttered roll in this state. You can't. They were already pre-buttered the night before and wrapped in little paper bags, waiting for everyone to come in the morning.
Oh,
And that's just even the little subtle things you miss.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I've yet to find them down here.
One of the subtle things I liked was Granny's homemade biscuits.
Mm.
You could, damn near a week after she made them, you can go in there and grab one. It'd still be just as soft as it would be the day she made them.
Lard.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But people nowadays does not use lard.
Yeah, it's oh no, that's unhealthy.
Exactly.
Yeah, you probably eat some kind of synthetic crap.
Yeah, now they're finding out. Whoops, it wasn't so bad. Same thing with eggs. How many times have eggs been good and bad for you?
Oh,
Right.
man, since the chicken's been in, started walking, I reckon.
Still eat them.
I still want to know who the hell that man was that followed that chicken around for the first time and said, "Hey, he pooped something. Let's fry it up and see how it tastes." And it was an egg.
Like the first beer.
Well, we got the history of the beer on Crazy's live the other.
Oh yeah, you guys
a
talked
couple
about
weeks ago. Remember?
Yeah. I wish I would have caught that one, but oh well. It's like did it go back to Egypt, or where was the first beer from? Sumeria?
Yeah, in those areas, yeah.
That's probably an accident.
How did the first beer come about?
That's a deep dive.
It was spoiled something other. That got wet and it fermented. And there's like, ooh, you got woozy when you drank it, and it feels pretty good.
All right.
And then it went from there.
Grace, you remember D'Agostino's? You probably remember.
Any of those restaurants that's got Enos in it is usually pretty good. I found in my foodology.
Yeah, they. If Crazy was here, she would know what I was talking about. Vice channel before it went woke. Action Jackson.
Yeah.
That guy, he would go in places in New York and go to their places and try out their food and stuff.
I remember that show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about Anthony Bardot?
No.
He's the guy who got whacked, I think, right?
He's a redheaded rapper. He's really big.
Bronson, action Bronson guy.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. It has a cuss word in the title. Something about what you would eat, something like that.
Huh.
But he's from New York, so he would go to different places and buy everything on the menu and sample everything and say what was good and whatnot. And sometimes they'd invite him because he was actually a chef before he became a rapper.
That's like
and he would go back in the back and create things.
That reminds me of like that steakhouse that's in North Texas, the one that like if you eat the whole thing, you get a free steak or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta have a place. Peanut, you gotta have a side of shrimp with it too to get the thing.
Oh, exactly. Or some shortbread and shrimp. Exactly. You go to North Texas, you gotta get some.
You gotta play by the rules, man.
Right. Exactly.
And a side salad and a baked potato.
A loaded baked potato with
loaded
salt on the outside. Ooh.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
there was
that's the best.
A well-known truck stop back in the day. If you could eat 3 steaks and fries, it was yours free. But what they forgot to tell you is the side of fries was bigger than the steak.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing, though. Like a steak and fries.
There's a girl that does this. She's on YouTube.
Fries.
I know, right? That sounds.
I know. I can't remember her name.
Used to make
I used to have her actual phone number. She's actually a weightlifter too.
Damn.
but she's only like 5'2", 5'4", if that. And she goes in there and eats.
I know exactly who you talking about.
All these steaks, and she'll clean it up.
Yeah. Now, I have seen her in a couple of them. She couldn't finish in time.
Oh yeah,
but there's not that many of them.
Yeah, she goes. A lot of times she'll raise somebody with her, and it's usually one of her friends that he's a big guy, and she'll sit next to him and kick his butt.
Have you seen her boys in a couple of them? He ain't no small dude himself.
That's like when you working out like that, you can, not literally, but almost in a way, you can pretty much eat what you want and as much as you want. Especially, when you're working out or lifting or competitive like that.
Yeah.
You're just burning up the calories.
You guys talking about restaurants. Grace just mentioned her father used to eat at Delmonico's right after a fight at the Garden. That place is awesome.
Sounds good.
That's right.
Just because it's Italian makes it sound good.
Right? I know, right? Delmonico's.
Yeah, just that name alone makes it sound delicious.
It sounds like there should be some gangsters in there.
I know, right? They're like, forget about it.
Forget about it.
I also used to eat in Newark, New Jersey. It was called the Ironbound section, and the Portuguese restaurants down there were just off the chain, man. The food is just,
I'm getting hungry again.
They had a chain link fence. That's where you parked your car, and they had like 6 or 7 guys that would walk the property line, and you could just leave your keys in the car because nobody. That's why it's called the Ironbound section in Newark. Nobody messed with those people down there.
Like mafia or something?
Well, I don't know. All I know is I was comfortable leaving the keys in my Camaro, and that's what I did. So, good food.
What year Camaro do you have?
I had a 68.
68. Oh, that's pretty cool.
68.
I like the earliest ones. They kind of look like more Mustang-ish or something.
67.
And it still cracks me up every time I go through my subscribers that I'm subscribed to, and I see creamy nut butter.
It's just so creamy, eh?
Smooth and creamy.
Oh,
it takes so long to look through your subscribers nowadays.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I'm subscribed.
I'm trying to find one person in there, and I can't think of her name.
Or you just type it in and it pops up. You know what I mean?
They used to have a search.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't know I know her name, but I can't think of it at the moment.
So hard.
Now I can search on my TV to where I can do that with, but I don't know. Yeah, I got one on my laptop.
Oh, here it is. Yep, I got it. Katrina eats kilos.
I never thought that would be in her name.
Well, there's tons of them, but this is the one I know.
This one you talking about is the weightlifter also? Her name's Katrina?
Well, she lifts weights, yeah.
Okay.
And I know her from gaming days. I'll
Have you tried getting back up with her?
Oh no, not for a long while. She's at 692,000 subscribers now.
Good God.
Oh, I thought you were about to say she was 600 something pounds now.
Oh no.
Yeah, really.
Oh, right. That's one of my mind. I was thinking, or maybe she's lifting that or something.
Right, forget about it. Go to another
like the She-Hulk.
Do you remember the early days of all you could eat buffets?
Yeah. Ask John Panetta about that.
Good buffets.
You don't see them no more like you used to.
Well, about the early days, I remember my days.
There we go.
Count.
That girl right there. I can't really.
Yeah, she got some gun.
because I'll probably get hit for it. But
How much time does she have to eat all that?
I think
72-ounce steak. Dang.
I could eat all that.
Yeah, but you got to eat all the fixings around there too. See that pile of shrimp right there in the wreck?
I could eat everything on that plate. What's the catch?
Yeah.
The time limit?
yeah, the
You
time.
don't see
You
the
have to do it
roll,
in time limit.
the salad and the shrimp and other stuff. You got to eat all that.
Yeah.
Like an hour?
I don't
No,
think
I think it's 30
I don't.
minutes.
I don't think. I don't think there's
30
a time
minutes,
limit.
Yeah, there is on this one.
It's like a little clock thing right there.
Here, let me see if it says on there.
I don't know if I could do it in 30 minutes, but I think I could do it within an hour.
Oh, 1 hour. Yeah.
1 hour.
That's probably
1
not
hour to complete 72-ounce steak, baked potato, side salad roll,
God.
shrimp cocktail to win a $72 meal and a free T-shirt,
Oh, yeah.
a souvenir mug. Yeah, and she does it too, by the way. And here you can see. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh,
it gets close to the time, but she finishes it up.
oh yeah, she knocks it out of the park actually.
Okay, that ain't the same one I'm looking at then.
Man.
Because one, it comes down to the seconds.
It's probably the same one I went to, where they have like a Old West style motel across the street.
You need to come to North
There.
Carolina and go to what's the name of that place?
You can sit there, see the steak is whiter than she is.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, she's pretty ripped though herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. But you gotta look at it like this. After she gets through eating that, I wonder how long she stays in the gym to burn all them calories off.
Oh, she does the gym all the time.
Yeah.
well,
She's probably already got a super
Yeah.
fast metabolism from all that
Yeah.
exercise. So
They're taking a lot of calories.
Yeah.
And that meal is not too bad what she's eating there because that'll burn into muscle, except for the roll and probably the shrimp cocktail.
Now I have seen her eat a couple of them that damn near turned my stomach just watching her eat it. I had to go somewhere else. I couldn't finish watching her eat.
And Eric, you see what I'm talking about? So you got to get the shrimp cocktail, right?
Absolutely.
See, that just-
Sandy,
Peanut, that's a fact check. It's a shrimp cocktail. Damn it!
Nope, I'm right on it.
Man, they say there's approximately 500 grams in a 72-ounce steak
Good God.
of protein. I'm sorry.
Right?
It looks like a pot roast. Like when they
It looked like a pot roast has been cut open and laid out.
Yeah.
And the thing is, she drove there and then drove 200 some miles more after she got done eating that.
To eat at another one.
No, she didn't go to eat at another one. No, she
Bush,
she was-
do you
she was
do you
traveling
remember?
through
Do you remember
I
when?
forget what it was, but
Do you remember when B showed that, or it was somebody showed that steak and it had that big pus pocket in it?
oh, that pot
We were
roast.
we were on Crazy Street.
Yeah.
No, I did not see that one.
That was nasty.
Oh,
I
Right,
think
I don't know
Mommy
steak
said he
now.
was going to cut out around it and then grill it anyway.
oh man. Well, at least,
Mommy, if you didn't, I'm sorry, brother.
Imagine
No.
slicing into that thing though after it was cooked.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be like a cream-filled donut. Oh, I said, where'd this come from? I didn't order any horseradish.
Oh,
A steak is about the only type of meat I can eat. Well, medium rare. Anything else, If there's any type of pink in it, I'm sending it back.
Well, half the taste of a good steak is eating the fat with it. I mean, let's
I'm not denying that. I won't deny that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dan, I love
mean, you got to trim it a little bit, but you got to leave some fat on it.
That's where all the flavor gets into the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the fat part on a fried pork chop.
Hey, what are you going to barbecue? What kind of steak are you? If you're going for steak, what kind are you going to barbecue?
What do you mean?
You said you're going to barbecue or something this weekend.
Oh, I'll probably throw a chicken and some deer sausage on the grill Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Can't go wrong with that.
Hang on, Lisa. I'll let you know. I know I've worked in that town, but I cannot remember exactly where it's at.
It's in North Carolina.
You would think, right?
That's way up there.
Way up north.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I think I'm going to call it a night.
Yeah, it's almost.
Yeah, I'm going to get rolling too.
What are you going to call it? Figured out a name yet?
The end.
The end.
Seems fitting. Well played.
Shrimp cocktail and
shrimp cocktail.
There you go.
It's the Abilene special.
The 72-ounce goodbye.
Lisa, I'm about an hour and a half from there.
Oh.
Just don't come up short with the money when the bill comes.
Yeah, I'll be dining and dashing now.
I left my wallet in my other pants. Dadgummit.
Right.
half stack of pancakes for the road trip.
Here. Bye, Jeff. Later, what? Later,
All right. Bye, guys. Happy New Year. I got a lot of football to watch this weekend, so thanks for the invite, Bush.
Oh, yeah.
You have
I don't
fun.
hear or see from you guys. Let's hope 2024 is a lot better than 2023. All
It
right?
will be. I'm going to declare that right now.
God bless
New
you.
Year.
Hasta lasagna. Woohoo!
And we'll see everybody tomorrow at 7:00. I'll be here with a guest, and I'll probably start doing a lot more guests again, bringing different people up. Again, tomorrow is going to be, ghostly time or cryptid or however you want to call it. Because after I'm done, then go to Lake's channel where it's Bigfoot and more cryptic stuff. So bring in the new year with some spooky stuff, I guess.
Spooky Saturday.
Yeah.
Why not? Go for it. Build you a campfire and take the laptop out there with you.
Yeah. Just don't put it on the fire.
Yeah, true.
But if don't see you till next year, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Same here. Ditto. Out.
Ditto.